specialist from Wheeler Lab is here.
Dr. Nash, your coach? Thank you, sir. Doctor.
General, this is Wheeler Team Leader, Dr. John Nash.
Glad you could come, Doctor. Hello. Right this way.
We've been intercepting radio transmissions from Moscow.
The computer can't detect a pattern, but I'm sure it's code.
Why is that, John?
Ever just know something? Dr. Nash?
Constantly. Why is that, John?
We've developed several ciphers. If you'd like to review our preliminary data. We've developed several ciphers.
That's why that background.
690. Starkey Corners, Maine.
That did that. Now let's move on.
What is it, Niall?
I can't help it, Morpheus. I can't help thinking, what if you're wrong? What if all this, the prophecy, everything is bullshit?
Then tomorrow we may all be dead. But how would that be different from any other day? This is a war, and we are soldiers. Death can come for us at any time, in any place.
Incoming.
Incoming! Incoming!
Now consider the alternative. What if I am right? What if the prophecy is true? What if tomorrow the war could be over? Isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that worth dying for?
And the last one.
You wanted to know what the Matrix is?
They started yet? Only counting opponents of
The autoplay kills me.
Tonight, let us honor these men and women. These are soldiers, our warriors. These are our husbands and wives, our brothers and sisters, our children. Let us remember those that have been lost. And let us give thanks for those that have been found and who stand here beside us. Now I would like someone else to close this prayer. Someone who hasn't spoken here
Because,
in a
Bobby, I
long
think there's
time,
2 hunts.
who I believe has something to say that we all need to hear. I give you more. It is true, what many of you have heard. The machines have gathered an army, and as I speak, that army is drawing nearer to our home. Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here before you now, truthfully unafraid. Why? Because I believe something you do not? No. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. I remember that for 100 years they have sent their armies to destroy us. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us shake this cave. Tonight, let us tremble these halls of earth, steel, and stone. Let us be heard from red tar to black sky. Tonight, let us make them remember. This is Zion, and we are not afraid!
That's good. What's up, guys? Should we do the fun little DB Cooper thing, or we've done that before? Fuck it. What's up, guys? Do the I know, right? It's such a weird scene, actually, because right after that they get into like this rave orgy scene, I guess. The obvious is it's supposed to remind you that these are human beings enjoying humanity versus what's happening in the Matrix, because they're all plugged in and not living the real life, I guess. So there's a point to it. It's just, I rewatched that movie last night, and my God, is that scene long. Like, it goes on for like 6-7 minutes. I think Trinity and Neo have sex in the middle of it. Like, it's very drawn out. You could have end it with We Are Zion, We Are Not Afraid. Do a little Congo for like a minute. Show Morpheus or Trinity and Matrix doing the damn thing for like a minute, and then move on. Anyway, this isn't Critique the Matrix Reloaded. This is Rob. You've never watched The Matrix, dude? Are you kidding me? Do yourself a favor. If you have HBO Max, go on HBO Max. Go watch the first Matrix. Like, right now. My God. No Matrix. I don't know how you live. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Richard? Do I still think Fenn is Koopy? Boots on the ground for the truth. I don't think... listen, the most I ever felt that Fenn was, in fact, the DB Cooper... I think the most I've gotten to is 50%. A 50-50 on just him versus everybody else that's been named. So that's a lot. But I don't think that that Fenn's DB Cooper 100%. I'm wishy-washy on it. I think there's a greater likelihood that he had something to do with Ha Ha Ha. What Ha 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 has to do with Dan Cooper's events that November 24th? I don't know. The book Ha 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 has some details that some consider wrong, some consider right. I mean, it's an event that we, the people here in 2021, know nothing about. I know everybody has I know a lot of people in the DB Cooper world has researched for decades, and more power to them for that. But we're still working off the same debated information. There were still 6 sketches of Dan Cooper that day. The pilot, either the co-pilot or the pilot was unsure if that 8:10 p.m. oscillation was really Dan Cooper jumping off of the plane. There's lots of questions. So the fact that people are 100% on somebody is or somebody isn't is mind-boggling to me. You don't know, person in your house, because you would be on the news right now if you knew. So you can't know who it isn't either. All that being said, I think there's a greater likelihood that Fenn ghost wrote ha ha ha, used a network of people to kind of compartmentalize himself away from it, and then from there it became a mystery because he didn't really, whoever printed this spent money on printing it but didn't really print that many copies. There's an argument of how many copies there truly are, who's the copyright person, who owns it, who is the true publisher, who owned the publishing company, did the publishing company really get sued by Daily Journal of Commerce? There's so many questions. Hold on, guys. Be a good brother, because it's yours. Gotta teach kids how to share. Got one of these kiddos the Oculus 2 for his birthday, and of course now all the other kiddos want to play. So teaching them to share, even though it's one person's property and they are in charge. Anywho, let's get some tunes up in here. I need some background thinking music for this. I'm going to show you guys the zoomed in image of the spot we're going to go to. Or one, okay, so we have one main X on the map. We have two other spots that we want to look at, but we have one main X on the map. Within that main X, there's 3 or 4 areas we want to go check out. I'm going to zoom in on my chosen areas, and I don't think you'll be able to figure out where it is, but maybe, I don't know. More power to you. We're going in 2 days, so I'll get that put up here in a minute. We'll take a look at it. I'm not going to zoom out much, though, because you guys are sleuths and you could figure it out. So let me see here. Oh, that's right. I figured out how to do Apple Music on this thing last time, right? iTunes, right? iTunes. Okay, the iTunes app. Oh, dope. That's right. What area for what? The area that Alan and I believe is the solve for the book Ha Ha Ha. You guys ever heard of Ludovico Einaudi? I don't know if I butchered that last name. He's good background music, though. He's really good. I love him. Do I have to, like, type it? Lud. There we go. I mean, in my library, bitch. There we go. Start with a little Eden Rock. Ooh, it's a little loud, though. All right, so let me get my spot here. There we go. So this is what I'm going to be checking out. Somewhere in the middle of the Reno Desert is this babbling brook. And what Alan and I think is the other end of Fenn's rainbow. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Then it's the solve for Ha Ha Ha. And if we're wrong about that, then we're wrong about that. It's okay. So this is the, after walking for some time, this is this. I'm gonna sprint to this spot when we get to this area. I can show you guys. Well, no, I'm not gonna show you guys Alan's spot. Never mind. Alan's spot is probably 100 feet away from here. 122, 123. I've told you guys 122, 123. What's up, Indy? I mean, I'm not doing hunts today. I'll play it at the end, sir. What book? Ha ha ha. Oh, page 122, 123 of Thrill of the Chase, I'm assuming. Let me... Where's my beat up copy? I don't know where my beat up copy is. Well, y'all know I've done it 1,000 times. You know, you fold it like Mad Magazine. Do you guys like that Louis? No, we don't want this one. This is Matrixy.
I wanna take you on a roller coaster.
Ben, are you guys going boots on the ground to find aliens' balls? Did he lose them somewhere? You mean Alan's balls? Is that what you're saying? Or are you legit saying alien balls? What's a contradiction? I don't understand. Yeah, that's what we're going after the solve for ha ha ha. Does anyone know when, what year, month blockchain started selling Bitcoin? Oh fuck, I don't know. A while back? I don't know, honestly. I love this music. Rich Rutherford, the key. I know, man. I know. 122, 123, not the fish. Well, yes, the fish. It's on the picture with the fish. There's an X. Fold the page over where the X is. Magically, Yellowstone Park becomes key. What's up, King Catcher? Jim King. Wasn't it 08, if memory serves? That's what I wanted to say, like the 08, 09, 2010-ish time frame. Why that spot, Lisa? Well, we have a solve for it. We have 7 clues taken from ha 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 and led us to that spot. And then we found a shit ton of confirmers with Forrest Fenn. So, I don't know. You're thinking from moving to Chicago to California. Well, get ready for high friggin' taxes, man. It's nice out year round. It's a gorgeous day outside, but whew. DB Cooper's body? No. I hope not. That'd be gross. I want no bodies at my spot. But I do expect there to be a briefcase hidden in a certain area in a certain way. Yeah. You said you would show Indy's video at the end today because you aren't doing hunts today. Contradiction. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that is a contradiction. All right. But Indy just said she was gonna, go live and show. So, I mean, I'll still show it at the end, I guess. I don't know. My intention today was to discuss stuff. Ha ha ha. Let me see how to share just... Yes, this. There we are. Still image. I like that better. Got a guy who I'm helping find his old wallet, which I found. And the tip could be life-changing money for someone like me. That's dope. Not important. I like that. Toby and Shelly are live. Talking how to go live. Well, one of the this is like a KFC within a Taco Bell inside a pizza inside your head. That's from South Park making fun of Inception. Getting excited to watch Alan and Ben pick up the cash. Here you go, K-Pro. This is an image of the spot. And I really... Now, see, I can draw on this. This is much better. I really want this. What is this? Ben, you are not worthy. Ashley, maybe you can mold him into something acceptable. Oh my, I'm not worthy. That sucks. My bones hurt in this cold Chicago weather. I hear you, man, but then like move to Arizona, dude. It's so much cheaper. Move to New Mexico. I mean, they still have a winter, but... We love Alien K. K-Pro, I'm a little worried about snow too. It's gonna be so nasty tomorrow there. But then Friday and Saturday are sunny days, above freezing. Some of it should melt off. We should be fine. It's the desert. Is it private property or public? There's actually technicalities with this land. But we have done our due diligence to be able to go there with no problems. Oh God, what's iTunes gonna play next? Richard, big storm coming in. Hope it is gone for my drive. I got a truck, but not four-wheel drive. I mean, you should be on main roads. The main roads should be fine. I think. Fucking weather, man. Ugh. Richard. Bring Alien K back to the spot where he can phone home and reconnect with his alien family. Oh, Bobby Brass, you're so mean. That's my partner, bruh. What else we got? What else we got? That was Eden Ronk. 7 days of walking. I don't think I've heard this one. Let's see what it sounds like. Ben may have hardcore boots and many layers. Yep, I mean, I do. I'm prepped, I'm fine. Montana, I fell in love with Too Damn Cold in the winters. I know, right? Ashley and I were looking into getting, it's going to sound so elitist, but there's no way we can afford it right now. But in a couple of years, maybe a summer home there. That sounds dope. Maybe like rent a cabin for like 2 months in the summers. I really like this spot, guys. I don't know what to say. I like this looks like a shadow, guys, but I don't think it's a shadow. I think there's a ledge there. This thing right here. I think that's a ledge. That's a shadow being cast. I think. I could be wrong. Google Map is so hard sometimes. Do you think the bump at 8:13 p.m. was a red herring and that DB Cooper jumped off the aft stairs around Reno? Why I mentioned the body. In fact, yes, we do. We think that the oscillation felt at 8:13 or 8:12 p.m. was absolutely a fake out. And he knew that if the pilots assumed it was him jumping off the plane, they would radio that in at that moment. And then all authorities would focus in on that. And then when he really jumped, he did it ever so slightly. In my opinion, you've had 50 years to look for DB Cooper, his money, his parachute, anything in the Oregon-Washington wilderness. And nothing, except for $5,800 planted on a river 20 miles upstream. Which is exactly what he says he does in the book. And yeah, Alan's gonna take me fishing. It's a 500-foot cliff. I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's probably more like 5 feet, but... Google Map is BS, cost me $3,000. I know, Google Maps really fucks with you. Like, I don't actually expect this to be anything in real life, but it's certainly the spot I'm going to first. I like Alan's spot much better, but... There's something peculiar about this little fucker in the middle of the desert. Think bigger, says Alan. Alan, now you gotta teach K-Pro to fish. Just FYI. Your services are being needed. We're gonna be under a canopy of stars, and you're gonna be a fishing guide while we search for the other end of Forrest's rainbow. Because there's 2 sides to the end of a rainbow, guys. That's the way I've known rainbows. I like this one. This is, what was this called? This was like walking, 7 days of walking or something. Day 5, ascent. Ooh, I like it. Wayfarer says, in my opinion, he probably dropped the stairs at 8:13 and then actually jumped right when the plane was on final approach or at the beginning of descent. I think in the FBI files that they knew the stairs were open and there was no oscillation yet. So I think, I don't know if that was the opening of the stairs that they felt. I don't know if that jives. But who knows? Could be. Just use a topo map. That's, I mean, 5 leaf, that's true. There's, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but there's been a bit of like mystery to it. I just kind of want to see it. I don't want to have to figure it out right now. It's intriguing enough to me to think it's a cliff, or not cliff, but like a, 5-foot drop, but maybe not. Maybe it's a shadow. If that's a shadow, then it's even stranger. So I kind of just want to see it for myself. Forrest did say when I go out into the desert, damn straight he did. He also talked about his jars being in the desert and the mountains. And again, I found another fucking interview where Forrest talks about, or his bells specifically, being buried so that no one will find them for 1,000 years, but not those jars. So I hope there's a jar at this spot personally, over anything. It's a fissure that leads to hell. I can keep my secret where. Wayfarer, I will say borders are important here, yeah. Is it a nook? We have a few other spots that we think look better for nooks, but could be. The desert is a funny place. I luckily have camped in the desert upwards of 75 times in my life, so I love the desert. I went to school at UNLV as an anthropologist. I mean, I've done surveys at the Valley of Fire that were just... like, I can't even explain it. It's like a relaxing state of passion. And it's just a survey that I was doing. I did like 3 surveys of the Valley of Fire. We dug a little bit once because we found a wagon, but that's it. So I love the desert landscape. I love everything about the desert. You used to camp at Joshua Tree. I've been there. It's a dope place. Alan, I am worried about cold. Not sure how many layers to pack. I usually worry more than I should. No, but when you're going boots on the ground, in the desert specifically, I would say worry more than not worry. So get hiking boots. Obviously, I wear hiking pants, but wear whatever you want. But layers, for certain, wear long johns or whatever, and underneath. And I would say at least a t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, sweatshirt, jacket. I mean, it's going to be in the when we're out there, it'll be in the 40s, and the sun will be beating on us. It'll feel like the 50s, as long as there's no wind. If there's wind, we're fucked. And gloves. Certainly gloves. It's fun. We're going boots on the ground again. I mean, I think we all have a healthy dose of skepticism and humbleness and going, we're probably not going to find anything. We know that. But at the same time, we have found some shit that's just like, oh my God. So, we're doing it, baby. Something, lots of things, led us to this spot. This is just mine. This isn't even Alan's. Alan's is like 100 feet away. But this whole area, something has taken us here. We didn't just pluck it out of a hat. What's up, Packer Jack? Yeah, Gobble say 40s is no problem. That's my take on it as well. And the temperature has gone up in the last 5 or 6 hours on updates. And they changed it. Ooh, it's rain tonight. That's okay. Most of it's rain. And okay, it's steady. We're still steady in the 40s on Friday and Saturday. Yo, perfect. It's snow raining. It's raining snow during the day with the sun out. None of this is gonna stick. We're fine. Still bring gloves. We're fine. Nothing's happening at night. We're fine. Call off the alarm bells. We're good. Now, maybe it's because I've lived in Minnesota in negative 30 without the wind chill before, negative 70 with it, but, you know, nothing's stopping us from coming to this area. No, nothing. Very specific things have brought us here. I want to know what the hell this thing is. I want to see if Alan's spot really matches up to a spot that has to do with somebody. I don't know how else to put that. Driving icy spots. Icy spots is interesting. Yeah, that's true. Little black ice on the road. I mean, from the forecast I saw, though, it's not gonna. I mean, when you're driving on a Friday day, you'll be fine. There won't be ice on the road. Remember, the pavement's black. The sun's out. It's the desert. There won't be black ice on the road. We'll be fine. That's right, Alan. And either way, we're gonna be at a bar Friday night. We're gonna get our drink on. Hopefully there's a pool table. We'll go live from there if there's internet. What else we got here? Do a little Mr. Robot music. It's a little solemn, but it's just, you know, it's reflective. And that's what today is. It's boots on the ground prep. The prep has been done. Alan and I talked. We could even show you guys the exact spot if we really wanted to right now. It wouldn't do anything. You'd still have to know what to do there. But at this point, it's mental preparation. All the things that have pointed us here, all the things that have said, this is it, this is it, this is it, we have to squash those a little bit. We have to prepare ourselves that nothing is going to be there. And that it's okay. It doesn't shake our confidence level, at least not mine. But I think this is a healthy part of going boots on the ground that I think in the future I'm certainly going to always do when I go boots on the ground. And that's simply a good self-reflection, the 48, 24 hours before you go, of how, yes, there's a reason you've done this. There's a reason you've plotted this trip out. There's a reason you're getting in your car in a couple of days and going. You still can be wrong. And that's okay. But I still think we're going to find something. Or someone already got there. And I would hope if someone already got there and it's just some quiet little thing, that there's something left to know it. We're not going to use the excuse of, oh, there's nothing there, so someone got there first. If nothing's there, we're going to go, okay, the bad X on a map, as in you're crossing it off. No more. But we're not done. We're still going to keep going. And yes, I play darts. Alan says, yeah, I can throw a dart towards a dartboard, yes. So, Alan's not on my team. Camped in the high desert back in 08, used a closed campground shower. It was 14 out, dried off in shorts next to a pallet bonfire that could eat a car. Fuck, man, that's intense. K-Pro immediately thinks she's gonna hustle you. K-Pro, you have to say you're bad at darts first before you try to hustle the dude who's already said he's bad at darts. For all you know, he's hustling you. Sorry if I ruined your betting game there, Alan, if you are hustling. You're not gonna hustle me. Bill's doing 5 on I-25, Colorado Springs. Is it snowy, Bill? Be safe, man. Everyone had a part to play. The question is, are you where Forrest wanted you to be? Yes, that's what we think we are. We think we're at a place Forrest wanted us to be. Not for the conclusion of the poem. We wholeheartedly, but separately believe there was a second story to this. And then that's how Al and I came together in agreement that the second story is possibly Ha 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 and D.B. Cooper. The only way there's a jar here is if he was a part of Ha Ha Ha. If there's no jar, then maybe he didn't write Ha Ha Ha, or maybe we have the wrong spot. But I believe that along with no snow, 50 degrees. Oh, nice. Why are you going 5 then? Is it just slow goings? I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. And see, Hoolie's onto it. Hoolie's already onto it. I saw that trick basketball shot. Fail to believe you're no good at darts. Agreed, Hoolie. Onto your shit, Alan. Oh, now K-Bro hasn't shot dart in years. I'll just be the honest one. I'm good at darts. I play darts. Y'all gonna lose to me. No hustle needed. Creepy Christmas music for our dig, or hunt, or whatever we're calling it. I like the robot soundtrack. It's pretty good. Bobby Brass likes darts. See, Hoolie gets it though. I'm telling you, Alan, you little sly son of a bitch, you. I'll see, and then Hoolie even put the link. Alan K doing a trick shot. Fuck you, guy. I have a good search partner though. See, he's a hustler. I need a hustler on my side. I like having hustlers on my team. What is this thing? Can we take bets on what this is? Let's do bets on what this thing is. I'll take a picture of it in real life, and then like the winner will get something. Like I'll get the winner a copy of Ha Ha Ha. How's that? I don't have one to give you, but I will get a copy, and I will send the winner a copy if you can successfully predict what this object here that I'm circling is. That'll be fun. Maybe leave them in the comments. This way I keep track of it. I can't pull back on it right now, man. I'm just going to do this one image. Not that it'll help you, but it could help with the surrounding area, and I don't want to do that. Tombstone, Arizona. What are you saying, Richard? You're saying some kind of cattle trough. trough. Why am I forgetting how to say that word? Looks like man-made. Looks like man-made berm. It certainly doesn't look natural, but looks can be deceiving, right, guys? I mean, there is a possibility that this thing is purely natural. To me, it looked like pretty decent-sized stones were put on like 4 corners or something, but I don't know. Maybe we'll find Rod Attic's copy of TurboTax 96. Yeah, so after Rod Attic got out of jail, he went into the tax business. Never wrote anything, even though Diane said the author of this book was going to write other books. Ben, can you go to historical aerials and put the lat long into view, various years of aerials of what it looked like? We've done that. Actually, haven't we, Alan? Alan, go ahead and do that for us right now if you can. Get a picture and see if you can send it to me. Let me just listen to this one. We'll do this. I like that one. Rod Attic started H&R Cock Block. Oh, I'm definitely getting Alan. We're smoking a joint right here, just so you know. Like, just literally right here on this ledge that I think this is. We're going to sit down, dangle our legs, and smoke a fucking joint. Winners, losers, we're winners just for going. So we're absolutely gonna smoke a joint right here and talk about, hey, we fucking came out here. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm bored to tears with this world. What's up, Andy? Was Dark in the room? What's up, Dark? I didn't see you there. You said you want the truth. I do want the truth, and I'll go anywhere to get it. Every single place you go isn't going to be the final destination. You have to take many paths, stop, retrace your steps, take a new path. It's never a straight line. I think in zigzags and helixes. So I'm willing to take a chance and be wrong, and that's okay. Huli, even if it was or wasn't, that elevation has to do with Forrest Fenn's treasure chest that's already been found. What about those pages missing from another Fenn article on newspapers.com? Yeah, Pack of Jack found another article of Fenn where it was on the front page, and then go to page D4 and D5 for continuation of the story. And of course, D4 and D5 are missing. Now, some people have tried to send me stuff from newspapers.com of, oh, see, we found the article, and I've had to respectfully tell them, nope, those are clippings. Clippings are from searchers or people on the website who saved something themselves, and you can find it via them. Like Bavetta clipped the Jan 1969 article that talks about 304, 305. But if you still search it, it's taken away from the database. It's not in newspapers database anymore, even though we saw it there a month ago. So strange, very strange. Looks like the set of Back to the Future 3. Yo, that's what I'm talking about, playa. You get me, Trey Westmoreland. Glad you found discrepancies in the Rod Addict story of being the author. Too bad some of the DB community have several forms of bias. Look, we all have forms of bias, okay? All of us. They could still be right that this book is nothing. That's still on the table. It's just I wouldn't be so sure that it's nothing. That's all. According to Mike Brown, quote, the smart guy, there is 2 chests and it has not been found. I'm excited to see what you find. I love exploring. Exactly. This is still just exploring. Like, I've looked at lots of Google images of the desert in my day, and finding an image like this at a spot where I didn't pick it because this was here. This was here because our clues led us here. So to see it, and it's like, wow. Even if we're wrong, I want to see what the hell this is. It's cool. Fenn told us the chest was found. What are you guys going boots on the ground for? We're going boots on the ground for the story, my friend. I'm hoping a jar is here, my buddy. I want that secret story that was in the treasure chest. Oh my God, Alan, it's even better in 1994. But I don't want to... Oh shit, I even see it there. Wow, it's there in 1994. I can't show this image, but holy shit. Good stuff, Alan. Thank you. But I hope that answers your question, Bobby. That article is Jan 10, 1982. Article says to go to D4, and D3 and D4 are missing. It goes from D2 to D5. All other pages are there. Why isn't Alan on with me? Because Alan is busy prepping real life so that he can do this. So he's a little busy right now. Davi, left field. What if Ben finds a case with the solution to the thrill of the chase in it? That would be wild. Listen, anything here is going to be wild. But that would be super wild. Doubt it. So what happens next once DB/Fenn runs its course? I don't know what you mean by runs its course, man. Paul says the story Shiloh has. I mean, the same Shiloh who was offered a chance to end the DB Cooper rumors and didn't? That Shiloh? I see the X too. You talking about right here? We always see. I have always seen X's in spots where I've looked for Forrest Fenn stuff. So it's like cute, but. So, people looking for jars are going to present some jars soon. Well, I mean, if we find one, fuck yeah, we're going to fucking open that shit live, not make a dime off it, and tell the world whatever it says. That's the plan. Wait, am I Miriam, Bobby Brass, and is Alan Indy, or am I Indy and Alan's my Miriam? I need to know. Mary Green, interesting, could be. I don't know. Can't wait to see it, though. Yeah, Marion. What? Was that Marion Ravenwood? Isn't that her last name, Ravenwood? I don't know. Shit. If it is, it's not. Oh, it is fucking Raven. I knew her last name was Ravenwood. If you're braving in the wood. Oh shit, that's fucked up. That's bad. I didn't mean to make that joke. I'm changing the music for that one too. Whoopsie daisy. This one's called Little Bitch. We'll see what this one sounds like. And her dad Abner. Yeah. God, what did he keep saying in the fourth one? He said something Junior, didn't he? Indiana Jones Junior. Yeah. John Hurt had some line that I loved repeating. I can't remember what it was. Why did Forrest say, "Ring my bell if you should think of me"? Ring my bell if you should think of me. Well, for the person who finds it in 1,000 years. Again, though, I don't think the jars are meant for 1,000 years from now. I think the jars are very findable. I wonder if Skippy and Bernie Geistman worked together / knew each other at Boeing. In the fourth one, he said, "We're sorry for making this." It's so bad. I hate the fourth one. I hate the fourth one with a passion. I walked out of the theater the first time. I was dressed as Indiana Jones. And then I walked back into the theater like 5 minutes later because I was like, I need to see. I walked out as soon as Indiana Jones gets into the refrigerator and gets blown up by an atomic bomb and flies 500 feet in the air and lands, and he's perfectly fine. I walked out of the theater. And then I walked back in just to see, and then the rest was atrocious. I watched it later as an adult just to see. Atrocious, even still. I even watched it, I think, like a month ago, just because there's news that a 5th Indiana Jones is in the works, which... Look what Ashley got me. Ha ha ha! Commemorative magazine discussing images. It has images, I'll show you guys, from the 5th movie. That's from the 5th movie. Looks like it's taking place during an Apollo 11 parade. So, there you go. Anywho, I know I'm going to love this last one because it's going to be the last one, right? So, oof. I don't care if it's Grandpa Jones. It's my grandpa. I've grown up with him, all right? He's Indiana Jones, damn it. Harrison Ford could play Forrest Fenn in the movie, just saying. Whoever makes that movie. Ben was also wearing a leather jacket and water skis when he watched Fonzie jump the shark. I wasn't alive when Fonzie jumped the shark. Good lord. I'm not sure if I should give Ben the Odin rabbit hole. Maybe I've already been down the Odin rabbit hole, Indy. Maybe I'm still in it. Maybe you don't know. Again, I've done this with you. You don't know where my research is. All I'm showing you is a spot on the map for ha ha ha. Walk and chew gum. Please be safe, Denise. Where's Denise? What's Denise? Yeah, driving. Be safe. I'm one to talk, but... Check your instant messenger or email about Shiloh. Gotta go on Ashley's and go through shit. I don't go through messages unless they pop up when I'm there, just in case they're for Ashley. Oh, I see what you did. Oh, interesting. Let me know. Let me know. I guarantee you not this one. I mean, unless you read some secret book that no one's ever had access to, I don't know how you could know if I've been down that path. Wait, Ben's photo, the shadow. Again, I don't think this is a shadow. It could be, but I don't think it is. I'm still thinking there's like a 5-foot drop in this little shaded area. Still doesn't explain what the fuck this is. You know what it kind of looks, you know what you could do? This is not what we make as a solve, just because I can make a question mark out of that. It's just cute. You know what this almost looks like right here? Is a fucking dead body. Jesus Christ. Looks like there's a head, arms, leg. Oh my god. I'll full screen that. What the fuck? You can have all sorts of fun with Google Maps. Ben, that's a shadow for a watering hole. Well, I'd love it if it was, because again, we're going to a babbling brook. A mound of some sort. That's interesting because the way Ha describes it is a hump within a hump, a mound, if you will. Yeah. Interessante. How much of an area will you and Alan search? Well, this area right here that we're going to be searching, his spot's about 100 feet away from here. We'll search everything in between. And then our other two locations we just want to go look at, time permitting, but this is obviously all the focus. This area is roughly going to take us 3 to 4 hours to search. Could be some sort of Native American ruin, and if it is, we're going to be respectful. We're going to take a picture, but I'm not going to touch anything. A berm is a mound. Thank you, Dav. Davi, I just called you Dav. Sorry. I'm very excited to see this place in real life. Very nice. High five. That's bad. I used to do a good Borat. That was me like doing a lazy Borat. What are you drinking right now? I am drinking lemonade. Be careful. People go missing out there a lot. Indy, I know. I've seen Casino. Again, though, I've camped in the desert like 75, upwards of 75 times, probably more. So, we good. We good. Maybe Alan, give me a, can I do an image of your area, or is it too much? It's too much. Just add it all up. Nah. Again, not though. Fuck, man. I still don't think, even if we showed them the area, no one's gonna be able to figure out the next step. Not, at least not now, unless they have ha. But then you know what? It'll gnaw at me just in case some rando went out there and got lucky. One of you 56 people watching. How dare you? It's fine. You wouldn't be able to announce shit without at least giving us credit. All we want is credit and fucking the story out. I am not in this for a single dollar. If dollars come, I'm not going to say no to dollars, but that is not why we do this. This is why I don't do any of the money shit on this. I need more music. Don't show the spot yet. Fine. I mean, this is my spot. I'll show my spot. Good luck getting there. K-Pax is dope. I like K-Pax. K-Pax is a good movie, too. I dated a Peruvian once, Lisa. Like 8th grade. I love lemonade. I'm living by Tim McGraw's adage of drink more lemonades and not so many beers. Full press, just waiting for you to make the mistake. Then I'm swooping in, I'm already camped 30 minutes away. Shit. And then Alan's be back in 30. I know that's unrelated, but that was good timing. That's fine. If you usurp us, just, like I said, just let us know. I just want the story. If you're brave and in the Peruvian, Jesus. Yeah, I'll still be here, dude. I'm gonna go till like 2 or 3. Unless I get super bored, then I'll stop. I don't know. I go to this, okay, good. Maybe I can take an image of something else. Maybe I can give you another image of this from another direction. How about that? How's that? Will we give out the solve if we don't find anything? No. Alan and I have talked, not comfortable with it. We'll give out as much as we possibly can of where we were, but not why. And a little bit of that too, but not all of it. Because it means we need to make a slight adjustment. I'm not sure what that adjustment is, frankly, but I just know Alan and I as a unit aren't comfortable with it, even though I said I was going to. I just... As much as we can, for sure. I mean, by the time we show most of it, it'll be very easy to see where we were, and that's fine. We'll say where we were. It's just the whys. I don't know. It's one of those things where if you share one part, it's basically sharing all of it. If that makes sense. So it's tough to share just a little bit of the solve without sharing the whole solve. It's hard. I don't think it's possible to share part of the solve without sharing the whole thing. And if we still think there's something to be found out there, we just went to the wrong spot, then, we're going to probably want to give ourselves one more search, which will probably be in a few months. So, tricky situation. Save what's on the table till after Clark Gable. Yeah, I was watching The Matrix yesterday, and doesn't Agent Smith look like DB Cooper? Doesn't he? He looks just like him. I wonder if that was their image for Agent Smith was DB Cooper. I mean, even the silver clip-on and everything. Pretty sure the hair is the exact same. Packer, I know you're on vacay. Seems Rod / his girlfriend may not actually own the copyright. Only one place looks like your pick, Ben. LOL. You want to email me that, Mario? I'll tell you if you're right. No, I won't. But you'll know if you are, because I'm not good at those kind of answers. Hold on, I gotta check something out. Everything all right? Thought they were fighting over that Oculus, but they weren't. Ben, is this a four-edged book? Oh gosh, no. You know what I did do with what copy can I do it with his book though? This is not a copy that I've been borrowing, so I can do it with this one. I would go to his books and then go and try to see kind of if anything was coming across doing that, in different varieties of ways. Never did anything. Thought it would have been cute if you could figure out a way to do it without gilding the edges. What am I doing in the hospital? What? Which one's this one? I don't even know which one's playing. Coda. Oh, Coda's a good one. Coda's like a colophone. Warriors, I have a picture of Fenn showing a searcher how that works and the process. You want to send it? I'd like to see it. It's a cool process. I think it's dope. Would have been sweet if he had done something like that. That would have been like a why didn't I think of that kind of thing to do. I really wish I had Once Upon a While though. I opened right to chapter 22. It's cute. Almost looks like there's a letter in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Like it looks like the letter I or 1 or something like that. Almost looks like an F right above it. Oh, you know what? Huh. Kind of looks like the number 11. Right here. In that little white area. Kind of looks like the number 11 in it. Drawn in like pen. Huh. And then on him, it almost looks like the number 1 right there, too. Hey, and K-Pro, to answer your question, you were asking like Mustang or Charger. I say Mustang. Oh, look, a matchbook. Now I'm looking at like images in the mirror. Warriors, did you know there are versions of some of the illustrations? Like different versions? Hold on, the door is knocking. Yeah!
Lock this door.
Why? Me Too, late 60s, early 70s. Where the fuck did that go? Oh, Mustangs, yeah. Are we still allowed to look for the chest, or is that illegal? I don't think that's illegal. K-Pro, really? I thought only 1,000 copies of Ha 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 were published. See, there's lots of weird misinformation about this book out there on purpose. Strange things afoot. I just don't know what that is. And I need to know. Now I just want to know what this is. I don't even care about the rest. Maybe read some from Ha Ha Ha. Have I read chapter 18? Albums. Just play this for now, I guess. Chapter 18. That would obviously be our man looking out the window of the plane. Bzzz. I started and was immediately wide awake. It was time. He's insinuating he's waking up from his nap. Unfastening the seatbelt, I crawled cautiously to the rear of the plane. The suction was unbearable, and the creeping precaution was taken so I wouldn't inadvertently be drawn out the open doorway. I threw out the phony dynamite sticks, knowing that even if there was a later air search of this area, which was unlikely, it would be impossible to spot small items like these from a plane. Now again, this is close to Nevada now. There was still plenty of time, well, not close to Nevada, but close enough. There was still plenty of time for neither the black surface of Pyramid Lake nor the lights of Nixon could be seen. They were directly beneath the flight pattern, so I knew we could not go to Reno without my spotting them. The sky was clear and the stars bright, sharply in contrast to the cloudy, wet, and windy weather we had left in Seattle and Portland. I threw out several crew meals because that might convince the authorities I was going to try and survive in the sticks for a while. When I couldn't be found in Reno, law enforcement officials were certain to think my exit had been made in Washington, for their computers would show that's where the stairwell was lowered. That's why computers are only as good as the operators and the input. They do make nice adding machines, there's a typo there. Even though they are a bit expensive for that. I tried on a couple of the parachutes, keeping the second one as it fit well and felt comfortable. The harness and straps were adjusted. With my trusty buck knife on one of the parachutes, with my trusty buck knife, one of the parachutes was cut into ribbon-like strips. The briefcase was bound tightly shut, 20s inside, using several of these strips to prevent it from breaking open on impact with the ground. I didn't relish spending the night chasing bills across the countryside. The case was then securely tied around my waist, fastened with a large bow knot. Now all I had to do was pull the streamers leading from the bow at the appropriate time, and the briefcase would drop free from my body. This would allow me to make the final drop without any excess bulk or unnecessary weight, improving my odds for a successful landing. Fuck you, Dark. Suddenly, the black expanse of Pyramid Lake was visible against the lighter floor of the desert. The plane was slightly to the right or west of the lake. Perfect! Exclamation point. I crept slowly and cautiously down the stairs, keeping a firm grip on the handrail. It was far colder than I had expected. The wind pressure was fantastic. It pushed the skin of my cheeks back tightly against the bones, and I could feel tears being forced from the corners of my eyes. The jet's engines roared. The wind shrieked. The noise was deafening. The stairway shook and vibrated as I inched down step by careful step. My pants flapped wildly against my legs, stinging them with the intense force of the 200-mile-an-hour wind. Is that good? Should I stop there? I don't think I stutter that much when I read. What? Do I? After a few seconds, I pulled the ripcord. The parachute opened quickly and trailed, then unfurled above me. There was a reassuring snap as my body jolted into its upright descent position. I glanced at the parachute, open in a tight mushroom, white against the darkened sky. glancing down the desert floor, slowly floated toward me. I was now strangely relaxed, semicolon. It was almost a post-coital feeling. Every nerve ending alive and responsive, but in a lull, anxiously waiting for the next tingle of sensation. A sharp roar, additional to the 727s, broke through overhead. I looked up in time to see a group of Air Force jets following us. They must have picked up the 727 at McChord Air Force Base just south of Tacoma. They never slowed, though, as they screamed past, now already several thousand feet beyond, still trailing the airliner. Evidently, they never saw me leave the jet. They probably couldn't, in the dark, even if they had watched the stairway all the way, unless they were directly above when the parachute opened. Nearing the desert floor, I reached for the streamers trailing off the bow around my waist. Leaning over put me slightly off balance, but I jerked them loose and the case dropped free. I straightened up in plenty of time to make a perfect landing. Knees slightly bent to absorb the impact with the spongy earth. The briefcase was lying, still bound, just a few feet to the left of the now tangled parachute. I picked up the chute and the cloth strips, including ones cut from the briefcase, lying on the ground, and wadded them into a small pile. A depression was excavated in the soft earth, and I put in the pile of nylon, harness, and ropes, then scooped sand and loam over them so they were hidden in the event of an air search, even though such scrutiny was unlikely this far south. There was a slight chance of the material being found before spring, when the winter snows would melt and wash away some of the sand, if then. Pacing myself carefully, I began to run I was in a rented house before midnight. My clothes and toiletries were already packed, and the car was ready to go with a full tank of gas. I prepared some brown rinse and quickly dyed my hair back to its natural color. A few extra minutes were taken to shave. I gave the house a quick but thorough once-over and hit the road. It was my plan to obey all traffic laws. In Nevada, all a responsible motorist had to be wary of the towns and cities. See, there's intentional mistakes here, I believe. With no state speed laws, as long as an operator didn't drive in an erratic or reckless manner, he was not harassed by the police or highway patrol. It wouldn't make sense to be arrested for a trivial traffic violation. That sounded like a Parker trick. Not for me. While I was driving innocently down the road, there was the devil to pay in Reno. Hundreds of federal and local gumshoes were on the skyjack job, the D.B. Cooper caper, as it was already becoming known. I had correctly assumed that they had planned to capture or kill me in Reno while the plane was being checked and refueled for the Mexico flight. They had decided to never allow the 727 off the ground. Previously, the FBI had shot tires off airliners being refueled to prevent a hijacker from leaving. I was proud of my foresight in circumventing similar plans this time. The eager authorities' next theory, I figured, would be that the skyjacker bailed out about the time the rear door was opened and the stairwell lowered. They probably wouldn't consider the possibility I had remained on the plane until it nearly reached Reno. Today, they still stubbornly insist D.B. Cooper went out over southwest Washington in the Lewis River area. Of course, I think this is fantastically funny. Well, I'm almost 80, and I think that's so funny. Oh, I don't mean it's funny because I'm almost 80, but it's funny because I said it that way. Funny? Funny. Funny. Ha. 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 I don't know. I don't know, folks. Maybe when Alan comes back, he'll hop on, see what he's up to. Nah, he's busy. He can't. Tough day for him. Yeah, it is interesting, Richard. I think it is. Threw in a ha in there too. I can't remember what page it's on though. What if Eric wrote it? See, now we're talking. Just as likely. I just think Fenn is connected intricately with whoever wrote ha ha ha. Intimately, if you want. Now that makes him DB Cooper. I understand that. Would you ever like to get a chili with me at a local Shoney's? No. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you're bringing up chili for a reason. I know you are, so. God, I really want to see this thing. One needs aha moment. Yes, one could call it a ha-ha-ha moment, if you will. At the beep, the time will be 1:24 p.m. Try to get that one file up. Let's get back into that. Oh, you know what we could do is go back into find another interview. Should we do an interview? Should we find an interview on Toby's channel? See if we can dissect it a bit. I feel like we've done it to death, though. We were going to do Jack's confirmation bias video. Maybe we should do that. Maybe now's the time to do Jack's confirmation bias video. Give me a copyright thing, Jack, just to show me you hate me. I've done that one 1,000 times though. Everybody has. Let's do the Jack one. Let's rip that apart. Yeah, Wafer, I'm hoping there's not snow. Hi, Jack.
New YouTube channel about the Fenn treasure hunt. My first video, and the topic today is cognitive bias. I was originally supposed to talk about this on A Gypsy's Kiss, and I guess
see
they had
what?
some scheduling changes, so I just decided to put
10X.
together a little slideshow where I can talk about my thoughts on cognitive bias that I've accumulated over the past year or so that I've been in the hunt. I know we're all aware of confirmation bias. People talk about that a lot, but I think there are at least a few other important cognitive biases that I've seen.
I'm messing with fire. I'll mess with fire. I like to get burned.
That are limiting our ability.
I have no strikes
to figure this thing out. So anytime you have a difficult challenge like this hunt, it's important to.
We haven't heard from Jack. This will be the first time we've heard from Jack if he wants to give me a copyright ding.
And try.
I'm giving him full credit. Here you go. Here's the channel. This is full credit. This is for educational purposes only.
We are very, very subjective creatures. And one of the ways you can do that is considering your own biases and trying to actively combat.
Well, Lisa, I would like to know that considering
you automatically go down certain roads in your thought processes. So
since I'm on the
what
members
is a
dig,
cognitive bias?
or was on it.
It's a systematic error in our minds that impair our judgment.
Reaction videos are cool under fair use. Yeah, it's a reaction video. I'm reacting to this.
And when I say cognitive bias, I'm not trying to.
What are you trying to say, Jack?
Use a pejorative term.
Oh, he doesn't want to use a pejorative. He wouldn't want to insult us.
Part of being a human being. It's something that we all have.
Thank you, Jack.
In spades all the time. And it's important to note that this naturally is a difficult thing. It's only in the past 100 years or so that science has
de-anonymizing.
Be able to
he put this up, not me.
Bias and
he could put it up under a fake name. He put it up under his Jack Stoof name.
Our ability to discover things, to be objective, and truly test things out against each other.
Wayfarer, again, I'm going to say one more thing, though. He buried the bells 3 feet or deeper. He did not bury the jars 3 feet or deeper. Find clips of just the jars. He never talks about burying the jars 3 feet deep. He always makes it purposely confusing with the bells and the jars. The bells he wants for 1,000 years from now. The jars have the story. The jars are findable.
And so, in drug trials these days, you get double-blind studies, you get triple-blind studies, all trying to control for bias and take humans out of the equation so that our data is as good as possible. And that's something that we need to try to do as well in the treasure hunt.
Okay.
So the one I'm going to start with is confirmation bias, the one that I think we're all most familiar with. And our definition here is the tendency to interpret and seek out information as confirmation of one's existing notions or theories and to dismiss information that does not conform to those notions. So what causes this? So our brains have sort of a potent mix of factors that are pushing us towards confirmation bias. First of all, we have a tendency to find...
So says the guy who searched the same area for 25 days total. Doesn't his entire story fly in the face of his own confirmation bias video? I know I'm not speaking anything new or revelatory here, but like...
patterns and things, even where there are no real connections. We're very bad at appreciating coincidence and the likelihood of coincidence. And in this treasure hunt, we have a very strong incentive to find patterns and connect the dots. A very expensive treasure chest at the end of the game.
So it is a game.
Are biased towards finding patterns. There's this great TED Talk on YouTube.
So like he's clipping himself too. This is at a different volume level. Like this is edited well. Like he's putting effort. Why? What's the point?
Michael Shermer. It's called The
He's
Pattern
still
Behind
looking for the chest. So what's the point of
and
this?
He talks about many of the reasons why we are biased towards looking for patterns. We're sort of made to err on the side of finding a pattern rather than not. So back in the days of the savannah, when when there is something wrestling.
And I got to argue with this too. He's saying the type 2 error, believing there is no pattern where a true connection exists, and he's saying the type 1 error is more common. I would say the type 2 error is very common. Every single person missed some kind of pattern because they didn't get the chest, except for you, Jack. So how can you say type 1 is more? They're almost equal. Hey, Boo.
Grass, it helped a human being to be able to look for the pattern of the spots and see the jaguar, rather than dismiss it as just the wind or something. So in scientific studies, there are these two important types of errors. There's the type 1 error, which is believing a pattern is real, where there is no real connection. That's a false positive. And a type 2 error, believing
I agree,
there is no pattern.
And remember, I've insinuated otherwise
connection
to the original story.
Really exists.
We don't know.
That's called a false negative. And human beings are sort of designed to err on the side of the false positive. And I would say the chase itself is littered with thousands of type 1 errors. Just look at any message.
Again, though, if everyone missed the true pattern, whatever that pattern is, then it's riddled with type 2 errors as well.
Quote I want to bring on here from Fenn. I would advise new searchers to look for the clues in my poem and try to marry them to a place on a map. It seems like the longer one thinks about the search, the more they complicate the problem. So you can see he's trying to be helpful here, but you can also see how this quote itself would complicate the problem, because the process of looking for clues in the poem and trying to marry them to a place on the map is trying to force a pattern on things, to push your brain to look for a pattern, and really you're pushing yourself towards confirmation bias with this sort of method. So how do we reconcile that with this quote? Is there any way to objectively figure this out without being stung by your own confirmation bias? And I think it's really difficult.
I agree.
Part of the
like
reason
there's on the surface, there's no reason to make this video. He's not trying to get into the Fenn community. He doesn't make a follow-up. He tries to get on Toby's show and then puts this out when he doesn't get on Toby's show. And then that's it. What's the point? Unless you're going into another realm here and going, okay, this was done to make it look like he was still searching even though he already found it. Or he's been hired, whatever you want to take it to. But like the normal surface level, however this story has been told to us, is not plausible with this. It's just not.
9 years on into this thing, is that this particular search seems to potentiate confirmation bias. The vague instructions that can apply to various kinds of terrain, an extensive search area with many different geographic...
I don't know who Ken is, but if you need an explanation for Lost, I'd be happy to give it to you. Yeah.
And geological points with all different kinds of names that could be attributed as a euphemism or some type of puzzle stemming from the poem. There are no obvious checkpoints to confirm progress along the way, which is something that encourages other kinds of bias that I'm going to talk about today. And I really think the level of known information and the specific level of specificity is in a sweet spot that allows for rampant coincidences to be found without the recognition on the part of the searcher that they're not really that important in the grand scheme of things. So we're sort of in this game that really pushes us into the extremes of confirmation bias. And why do we let it? So we can find coincidence in anything if we look hard enough. Here's a graph showing correlation does not equal causation. I think for most of us, we would assume that the number of letters in the winning word of the National Spelling Bee each year would not correlate directly with the number of people killed by venomous spiders in the US in that year. But it's clear when you graph it, it looks like there is a direct causal relationship. But if we're trying to be objective, it doesn't make any sense that there would be a connection. So we can actually dismiss this as a coincidence. But in the chase, this is supposed to be fun.
Alan's coming back.
We're supposed to enjoy finding the patterns and exploring.
Oh, you're
and
yeah, I can give you the link.
We have this huge incentive at the end of the game, this $1 million prize, and that kind of allows our minds to fudge things, to not notice the signs that what we believe an impossible coincidence is really just that. There's a real emotional investment in this, and that is another thing that pushes us towards confirmation bias.
I mean, what is the fucking point, Jack?
There's this related idea of subjective validation.
Subjective
people
validation.
Will consider a new idea to be true if it has personal meaning or significance to them. And you can see this played out on daytime TV, where they have a cold reading psychic who will be in front of a crowd of people. And the psychic will say, I can talk to dead people. And I'm talking to a dead person right now who's related to someone in the audience.
Yeah, but again, he searched the same area for 25 days. How's that not anything but confirmation bias? I don't care how well he managed it. That's confirmation bias. It helped him get the chest, allegedly. Fine. But that's still confirmation bias. Going to your spot with confidence is confirmation bias. That doesn't make you wrong either.
Be something with the letter J, seems to have died of cancer, and someone will pipe up and say, that's me. Well, J is a very common first letter of a name, and cancer is, the number 2 killer in the United States. So, of course, in an audience, there will be someone who has an important connection to a J who died of cancer. But to that person, everything that comes out of that psychic's mouth after that point is more likely to be accurate, because the person wants to believe that it's true. And if the psychic, even when they're being really vague, hits on something that's just objectively not true, the person will dismiss it pretty easily and really take it in stride, but really hold on to the vague things he says that are right. And we're sort of in that same position with all the vagueness.
He's killing me. He's fucking killing me.
So for confirmation bias, here are some important quotes that I picked out from Forrest. If all of you have such great ideas about the solve, how can they all be wrong? There's a certain percentage of searchers that will not accept the fact that they're wrong. Playing a hunch is nearly always fraught with disappointment, especially if the stakes are high. A searcher who guesses through life is destined to carry a thin wallet.
Those are also useless fucking quotes. No one's guessing through life. And by the way, we're all guessing through life. It's just such nonsensical nonsense.
Is part of what keeps people in the chase. It hardens their belief and their confidence in their accomplishments despite spotty evidence. But confirmation bias also keeps us from exploring new ideas. And Forrest is just kind of on the sidelines here, watching us make these huge errors. Our challenge is to try not to make guesses. but find true meaning and find the true pattern. So how to
Find the true
combat
pattern.
confirmation bias.
So there is a true pattern to uncover, correct? Is that what Jack is saying? Find the true pattern.
This picture is of Charles Darwin, famous for his theory of evolution, and he had a very interesting mind. It said that he was not the most intelligent person, but he had a great work ethic for the problems at hand. He actually had the basic tenets of evolution down before he published The Origin of Species. But he spent decades looking at not only evidence that supported his theory, but the things that could potentially disprove his theory. And he came up with a process, a golden rule for combating.
Thank you for saving us from this awful video. You're muted, dude. Yeah, it's got like the mute symbol on it. I can't even unmute you because it says you chose to mute yourself. Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I got my oil tank. Pulled up my tires. Bass Pro Shops. I'm hearing a major echo.
Yeah, I got rid of the echo now.
Yep.
So, Bass Pro Shops got a visit from you?
Yep. Need my ladder to do some fishing, apparently.
Oh my God.
New tactic I've never heard of in my life.
You're going to be all on your own on that ladder, my friend.
Oh, man. I'm excited. Yeah, some people are excited to see us be excited. Some people are excited to watch us fail, which is also totally fine with me.
Yeah, right? That comes with the territory, though.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with it. Because you know what? I am leaving my house, driving somewhere I've never been in my life, and looking for something I've never looked for in my entire life.
I mean, it's a pretty fun adventure by itself.
Yeah.
So what's your bet on what this thing is? What's your official guess?
I mean, to me, looking at the shadow, see, I can't tell if that's a shadow from like a tree, or if that's a shadow from a cliff.
I feel like that's it's perched up a little bit.
No.
Especially from this angle, it almost has the making of an arrowhead. Like a big, in the shape of one anyway.
It is a weird spot, though.
It's a very strange spot.
It's a weird spot in this location for the fact that there's even green stuff.
Right. I mean, if we zoom out more, it's desolate.
Yep. And I know
Mario, right? If the try is sincere, I would say the try is very sincere.
Yeah. And I know you and Cape are looking at the snow. There's going to be like snow dust on the ground, maybe, but it's going to be damn cold there. That's for sure.
It's going to be cold. Layers are important. I mean, when we're hiking around the desert and it's 45 degrees out in the sun, we're all right. We'll be all right. But like the second the sun goes down, hell no. If it's windy, I didn't look at the wind. Shit. I hope the wind is done.
I think it gets windier near the water.
Well, thank goodness that we're not near that.
Well, that's where I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to go fishing on Saturday morning for
sure.
sure.
Your mind. All right. Oh yeah, nothing. There's no wind. We're fine.
And hey, I haven't seen snow in a long time. I didn't get out last year, so wouldn't mind seeing some snow.
There won't be. Hold on, man. Hold on. There won't be. There's no way. It's not sticking.
And it's the elevation is below, 5,000 feet, I believe. It's not like it's at elevation. Hey, all.
I gotta play like peacekeeper and negotiate time between this Oculus 2 that we got one of our kiddos for his birthday.
Packer Jack said to wear a skinny black tie while I'm fishing. Just imagine that on top of that ladder, like in a full-on DB Cooper.
I still think we need to be dressed as DB while we search, but that's just me. Weather be damned. K-Pro wants to know the best place to get gloves. I'm telling you, there's not going to be ice. The timing of it, it's going to be snow and rain during the day. It's not going to ever stick. The sun will be out on it. And again, we'll have a whole, like, when you're leaving on Friday, like, as you're driving, it's already in the sun. You'll be fine. I think everything will be all right. But, you know, be safe. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
Well, there's a Walmart right there.
Yeah, Walmart.
There's a Walmart everywhere.
Walmart has any kind of glove you need. It's fine.
Yep.
How far is this hike? We're going to be trekking a little bit. Not too bad, though. Let's put it this way. Even if it were June and it was 95 out, we'd still be all right. It's not like it's not like we'd, you know, drop dead halfway through or something.
Yeah. It's secluded because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not secluded because it's hard to get to.
Right.
Or it's, treacherous or anything like that.
JK, this coming from a guy who locked himself out. Again, all right, that's a key with a door. That's knowing where a key is. I don't need a key to my tent in the desert when I camp there.
So, K-Pro, are you coming for sure? I've asked Ben a couple times, and it seems I think you are. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest.
We're just staying at the sure stay, as you already put it out. There's no confirmation bias at all with us.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Either way. I mean, there's like 3 casinos right there. I mean, I'm sure they're, it's not the Bellagio, but there's casinos around there. Could have some fun.
Yeah. What is Lucky Digger saying? There's a document of the stewardess statement, and she said that there was not response from the hijacker before their descent into Reno. That book is a fantasy. What book? Ha ha ha! Because he didn't respond to the stewardess who locked herself in the cockpit when what? Lucky, I'm curious if that's what you meant. I'm wondering.
Yeah. The FBI also surrounded the plane and looked for DB Cooper on the plane when they landed in Reno. That's how I'm sure they were about him actually even leaving the plane. They weren't even sure he left the plane.
Title holder says, have an awesome time. Hopefully we find a certificate and we too are title holders. Less than 4 miles one way? Yes, Davio. Anything more than that's crazy talk. We'd have like 20 minutes to search, and then we'd have to start fucking walking back. Don't get nailed for trespassing. We won't. We're fine. Mike said yes. Did Mike say yes to, like, is he coming as well? No, it's not 4 miles, K-Pro. That'd be fun if Mike was coming too. Although, he said he's staying home. Somebody's got to stay home with the kids, I guess. We have a babysitter.
Yeah. K-Pro, I realized why you and Ben probably like darts and why I've never liked darts. All of my tall friends crush me at darts because I feel like high level for them, just a straight throw. I mean, I'm like 5'9", so I'm not super short, but I'm not 6 foot. And I always feel like they just have an easier time. And I know the inches, Anyways.
It has nothing to do with it. I have played darts against many a short man, and they were good.
I'm sure. I don't practice. It just seems so much easier for my taller friends to throw just straight from their eyeball.
It probably is. We get like what? We probably get like an extra 7 or 8 inches closer to the dartboard.
Yep.
But there's like, I've watched many a UFC fight, and the dude who's like 5'10" has like a 7-inch larger wingspan than the dude who's 6'1". So, sometimes it just varies.
That's true. That's true.
What kind of fishing will you be doing, Alan? People are probably just trying to figure out the precise spots we're going to be at.
I can tell you the exact lake, and it wouldn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah. Tell them.
No, how about I make you search for it? How about you look up world record trout And then you should know at least the general area.
There you go, chat. Look, or Ken, look up world record trout. Anything else?
Well, there's a first and last name I could throw in there just for fun.
Now let's just see what pops from world record trout. Nevada, maybe helps with Google.
Sure.
Who knows what you get from Google, right? World record trout, Nevada.
That'll definitely do it. It should.
That'll do it. That should do it.
And if you even look, I mean, I've said it 4 times already that Ben needs to be standing on a ladder while fishing. Like that's a very rare occurrence in any fishing.
If we're alone and there's nobody there who actually knows what they're doing, who could like just absolutely make fun of me and rip me to shreds while I'm doing it, which will only cause me to like fall or something, then okay, yes, maybe.
Picture falling in that water. It's probably 40-degree water in 40-degree temperature, and then that would be horrible.
Hypothermia sets in like 5 minutes. Ken says, so Pyramid Lake. Then Gobble says Pyramid Lake.
Bang.
Now Packer Jack does silent face. Did you happen to see who caught the world record trout at one point? Ken or Gobbles? Or K-Pro? Or Packer Jack?
More sleuthing. Packer Jack might know. It would take a little more sleuthing. And I don't think he caught the world record trout. He caught one of those trout.
Right.
Not that the world record holder trout from that lake is the person you're referring to. But anyways, that's where we're going. And I'm a bass fisherman, so I think at Pyramid Lake they fly fish a lot, but they fly fish for gigantic trout. And I'm talking 20-pounders, even bigger than that. They're cutthroat. They're native to that lake. They're called Lahontan trout.
Did they figure it out yet?
I don't know. I'm not even looking at chat. Sorry. Anyway, it's a cool spot.
Hey, brothers, Alan, Ben, what are you doing? Shush it. This part's fine. We've talked in depth about this. Honestly, they could literally.
If you read the book, he literally said.
And you could be within 1,000 yards or feet of our area and still not know what you need to do. It's you know what I mean, like.
And anyone that now goes full board to figure it out from between now and Friday, like
tomorrow, great.
Like
don't get hypothermia going through the middle of the snowstorm that's happening tomorrow. You'd be out of your fucking mind. So there's that. Treasure Wars, see above. What am I seeing? I think they're going near Brokeback Mountain. Is that what I need to see above? Ben explained where it was while reading the book. LOL. Yeah, and that's why we've already said it's fine. Like we get it.
Pyramid Lake's fine. It's discussed in the book. He says, that area. That's not.
How much does Santa pay to park his sleigh? Nothing. It's on the house.
I do like those dad jokes, though.
Yeah. Fish from a tree, sit comfortable. Yeah, but you got to look up the Pyramid Lake fishing 5-leaf to catch like the biggest ones. Like they're all on ladders. It's kind of ridiculous.
There's no trees. You have to get in the water, and it's more than just getting in the water with waders. You have to actually get out to a deep spot, then get on a 6-foot ladder, then cast as far as you can.
And you just see it like in this one picture. You just see like just a row down the lake of all these dudes doing it. It's just crazy.
It's weird.
But isn't it to try to catch like the biggest mama jamba, basically? Like
yeah, because the Lahontan trout like deep, cold waters, so you can't just fish by the shore for them. You have to cast as far as you can, and you have to get out there as far as you can before you cast as far as you can. I mean, the boaters are who have the advantage. The shore fishermen need to resort to ladders and things like that.
Right. Well. We'll see if I get on one. If we go right away on Friday, just because like we don't even need to do anything else, we just go to the spot. We have time, and we do find something. Yes, 100%. I will get in on a ladder. I will be having a cigar in my mouth. I don't care if it's legal. And yes,
you don't have to get on a ladder. There's other opportunities, so it's fine.
Well, I'm sworn now to I have to do this to fish.
You have to at least cast once into the water.
She's calling me on it. She's like, after all this shit, you have to at least fish. So I have to at least do that at this point.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we'll be heading down to Reno to do maybe a casino night if we find it the first hour we're searching. Can I gamble on this blackjack table with this shredded up $20 bill? No.
Even funnier, we have $190,000 worth of old 20s. Can we swap them in, please? Quickly.
Fucking alarm goes off. Wow, this is ringing up a crime notification from 1971. What's going on here?
Can you turn these into clean hundos for us, please? Thank you.
Why isn't your nose 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Oh, boy. We're just doubling and tripling down on the dad jokes right now. Ben, I may be able to get a free/cheap room in Reno. Oh, maybe that's what we do for Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm out on Saturday for sure. So you guys can.
Yeah. Maybe we head back to Reno for Saturday night. Kind of like that idea. Work on that one, K-Pro. See what you get. Reno, the world's biggest little city. You know, the first time I heard about Reno was a great movie called The Wizard with Fred Savage. Just a fantastic flick. And they're like hitchhiking their way across the country to do like a video game tournament for $50,000. And they stop in Reno. And then this little like 12-year-old redhead takes like Fred Savage and his brother into a casino, and they're like telling her trucker friend how to gamble on craps. And she's like, okay, put it on the pass line. And then he hits it. Okay, hard 8. And then he hits hard 8. And then they make like $800 or whatever. It's so stupid. Yeah, I was like 7 years old going, gambling is easy. I'm going to bet on the pass line, then bet on a hard 8. And I did that like for the first 5 years I lived in Vegas. I would hit the pass. Craps is a whole different game. Have you gambled much?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 41, so I've gambled for 30 years.
What's your game of choice when you walk in a casino?
Sportsbook.
All right, but then you got to wait for the games to start. So then what are you doing?
Okay, so if you're asking about an actual game, I mean...
Yes. Come on. The buddies are out.
I do not know how to play craps, but when I want to make money, I give my friends my money and say, go play craps. But if I want to have fun with friends, it's like, you know, blackjack, Wheel of Fortune slot machine, like just the stuff where you
Yeah. The slot machines with all the doohickeys on it, I love, because I just want to activate that fucking doohickey shit, and that's all.
Just while having free Coronas and like whatever.
Right, exactly. Free drinks. I just want the doohickey to go off. I'm not going for a certain number. I'm going to put in hundreds until I fucking hit the little doohickey. But once I hit the doohickey, I'm done. Yep. Sometimes I hit on the first spin. Sometimes I put in $300, and I'm like, this is why I hate slot machines.
Yep. And blackjack, I will only play blackjack if I like the whole table. If there's one person running it, I just can't be at the table.
Vibe has to be perfect. I will observe a blackjack table until the end of its shoe, because I also count. So I wait till the end of the shoe because I want to start at a new shoe. But like, I need it to be a 6-deck shoe. I need the table to be hot. I need third base to know what he's doing, and I need nobody to be a dick. As soon as someone's a dick at a blackjack table, I don't know why, the cards go insane. Dealers start picking up 21s left and right. I know there's no science behind it, but I fully believe it.
Yep.
You ever play Pai Gow? I've never played Pai Gow.
Nope. I mean, usually what I do is I place a couple sports bets, and then I go look around for blackjack or Wheel of Fortune or whatever my friends are playing. But if they're playing Pai Gow or craps, I'll do. And then roulette, obviously. Like roulette's just my go-to when there's nothing else to do. Is I'll play roulette all night.
Whenever I've noticed, the only time I've ever played roulette is on a cruise ship. Both times I've done a cruise twice, and it was once was like 2008, the other one was like 2018. Both times I was just at the roulette table the whole fucking time. I just love seeing stacks of chips. I'd give them like $500, and that'd be like my budget. But like I'd have like a tower of fucking chips because they'd be $1 a piece. But they would go so quick. And then I end up at the Texas Hold'em electronic table where you could like play against other people, but it's still like an electronic board that does it.
I hate the electronic ones. They're fun because they're quick. But
people are morons with it. It's like the money doesn't exist anymore. It's electronic, like it's online, but you're sitting across from them. You can fuck with people on cruise ship Texas Hold'em machines. I've never seen some of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. God, if I was a single poker player, I'd like honestly think about like shifting my location to just like cruising cruise ships and just really people at the poker table. Honestly, it's a brilliant idea. Shit, I wish I had thought of that in my 20s. Fuck, that's brilliant. I bet you people do that. Ben Allen, what was the last name of the original bass player for the Beatles? Stuart. What? I don't know Beatles trivia.
I mean, I'll Google it, but I don't.
Stuart Unglo. Stuart Unger. How about Stu Unger? We could talk Stu Unger. I know all about Stu Unger. Stuart the Entity McCartney. Before Paul. What? Wait. What? Paul, like it was like Paul McCartney's brother or something? Peter Best. Wasn't that the drummer? Before
Norman
Ringo?
Chapman?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know what I'm looking up even anymore.
Norman Chapman. No. I was about to
just
line
Googled Beatles drummer and I saw 4 names pop up. So, I mean, obviously Ringo Starr.
Rango. Someone put in like a GPS coordinate in chat, and it took me to the craziest thing. Did you look at that on your instant messenger?
I saw Full Press.
Copy and paste that shit, put it into Google Maps, and like zoom in all the way. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I don't even know where that was. I mean, I saw that like 30 minutes ago.
Check your Facebook. It's the last thing I sent you.
Check your Facebook.
Check your Facebook. Check yourself. Warriors, there are 3 good poker rooms in Reno. It's tempting. Can you ask Ben if he watched my last video? Oh, sorry, 3D. Yeah, no, I did see that. I love it. We're gonna as soon as we get back, boots on the ground. Like I'm gonna focus on some of these hunts y'all have, and take a good crack at like all 3 of them. What is it? Copperdan's, Indies, and yours, right? Is there's not another searcher hunt, right? 3 is my limit anyway. I'll just go do those 3. But we're not done with our DB Cooper stuff, even if we're wrong. It's just I can take a crack just to refresh the brain on other stuff. I worked for Peppermill in my late teens in Cupertino, California as a hostess. Peppermill, like the ones I've been to in Vegas, like 3 a.m. breakfast when you're drunk as shit. I remember the Peppermill in Vegas.
Who said Cupertino? Because I always think it's Davio, but Ken, Oklahoma. Nice. Wait, no.
Ben Hillary's book is super cool too. 12 Days of Christmas. FF Searcher. Okay. Packer Jack, you want to drop any like knowledge bombs on us since you're here? You seem to have some every now and again. So like, as we like end the stream here in the next 15 or 20 minutes, you got any knowledge bombs? I could use one.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt your question, Packer Jack, because I do want to hear that. But Ken in Oklahoma telling me to use tube jigs or other dark colors. This is a whole different species of trout that we're fishing for. This is the Longton trout. You can't use a lot of artificial baits. You can't use anything scented. Even a artificial bait that has scent, you can't use. Barbless. It's very specific, but also these trout are gigantic. So the tubes that you're referring to are probably, anyways.
Yeah. What if my first fish I catch is like the biggest mamba jamba thing in there,
then
and I don't know what to do?
You're done forever.
But what if I don't know what to do? You're gonna like help me?
Oh, you mean reel it in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll help.
Or just tell me what to do. So I like that'd be dope if my first fish is like world record, and then like I'm done. I retire.
Yeah.
Champion of the world.
I will jump in the freezing cold water. If either of us hook into one of these fish, I'm getting in the water for sure.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, these are gigantic trout, and they're like they were extinct for a bit, and they were revived, and they're native to this exact lake. It's very cool.
So it's almost like they were like resurrected.
Yep, very true.
Interesting.
But I mean, I usually fish for trout with like these tiny little lures or the tiny little power bait, tiny little treble hooks. These are gigantic trout. almost like salmon, pretty much.
Wayfair says if I catch a fish, I'll just be hooked for life. Maybe, I don't know. I'm 0 for 5, I believe was my number. 5 good attempts as a child, 0 for 5.
This isn't the best spot then to start you off, but if you hook into one,
Right, it feels like I'm walking into expert territory here.
I feel like I am. I mean, I've fished my whole life, and I don't even know what I'm doing. But
Great,
I
fantastic.
will get us the right tackle, the right gear, in the right spot. That is for sure. And then we'll
That's
figure
all
out.
I need to at least feign like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yep.
What do we do if there's nothing here?
What do we do if there's nothing here? I don't know. I'm sure it'll be one of those, like, the next week is a little slower and not as
We take our lickings. We go live. We're gonna tell everybody there was nothing there.
Which is, I'm gonna say, it's likely. Like, right? Isn't that how you just played the confirmation bias video? Like, it is likely that we're not going to find anything. If we find something, then yeah, like, great. That's the best thing ever. But it's more likely that we're not.
And it's more likely than not that if we find something, it will be ha 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 related. And we still don't know if ha 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 is just some random person's book, Forrest Fenn's book, the real DB Cooper's book, all of the above, none of the above. I don't know. So
on that note, so let's eliminate Forrest. Let's just assume Rod Addix wrote the book. He wrote the book with 7 clues in it because it's in the book, and he said he hit a proxy item, which was a certificate. If you find the certificate, you need to mail that or contact the publisher or something, and then they will give you $200K. He did not ever talk to these other Diane Dalby, specifically the fiance, until after he wrote the book, a couple years after, I think. So what if, even if it was Rod Addix, who I am not a fan of, like, did put something in a spot that's now worth nothing, literally nothing, I'd be happy to find that. I'd be happy to find a tin can with a crumpled up certificate in it from 1986 that's worth nothing.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be so cool if that ended up.
That'd be the greatest thing I've ever found. Like,
Packer Jack said Agent Jarvis admitted they closed the case because the Cooper case because they knew who he was. He was dead, so there was nothing to do except to open the FBI to more criticism for their botched investigation. I mean, listening to the FBI talk about anything they've done over the last 30 years is like,
and also
I don't. It's like this gets into politics or something, but it's like the FBI are nothing but scoundrels. So,
but they also said that they didn't shut down the case because, like, the suspects, the top suspects, were dead. They shut down the case because none of the suspects ever found out, ever.
Right.
None of them. Period. Case closed.
Yeah. I mean, when agents talk about their old cases too, it's always like, they're the hero of the story, and, like, something got in the way. It's like, okay, all right, that's one perspective. K-Pro said something else. I can't remember what it was, but it's gone now. Did the FBI ever look into ha ha ha? So yeah, she's asking Packer Jack that, but just from my own stuff, I've looked. I can't find any of the files talking about it. I would like to see that they've looked into it, and even if they dismissed it, that's fine. But I don't even think there's nothing on the record that I've found so far in these FBI files that even mention ha ha ha, which is, again, why I started to question maybe when this book was even written. But
well, even going by copyright, copywritten in 1978, so that's 7 years after the hijacking. By that point, I don't know how many fakes and other people were claiming to have been DB Cooper, all the deathbed confessions by that point. So I could see them not giving ha 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 like a credible, thorough run through. But as far as them not even having it on their radar, that's a little different to me. Like, they never even noticed it. They never saw it.
I would assume they noticed it. They had to have.
I mean, Donna Elliott was selling it out of the DB Cooper store in Ariel, which is like the landmark for anything DB Cooper related.
But if you're telling me the FBI looked at it and said, oh, no, okay, it must be this Rod Addix guy, and they don't investigate the other people, the other names surrounding it that even we've gotten to, and you're telling me the FBI didn't? They should have. So
and also the Rod Addicts thing, and thanks for bringing that up. Even Darren said when Darren again, I like you, man. You're a smart dude.
Yeah.
When you were on K-Pro show, you said like you've been looking for who the author was. A lot of people have looking for who the author of the Ha Ha book for years. I don't think you said years, but you said you've been researching it for a while, and you finally found out Rod Addicts wrote it. But like we have the same credit, or we have the same source. I'm not gonna say credible or not credible. Same source as Diane Dalby and maybe Judy saying Rod Addicts, but that's it. And to me, that's not even good enough. Not after 40 years of the book being out there in existence, is that now this name of someone who is a convicted murderer that is now dead is the top candidate for writing this book. It's very strange to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there were the discrepancies, and again, it's open for debate. Where it doesn't mean us, it doesn't mean we're right either. But there's just enough discrepancies to go, okay, I don't accept that. Doesn't make me wrong or right, but I'm going to look further.
Yep. Well, I will disagree, and Darren, I doubt you're watching, but when he said it was a mildly entertaining book, I thought it was more than mildly entertaining. I thought it was an extremely well-written book.
Oh yeah,
reading it from start to finish.
There's something different about it, which I always appreciate. Specifically to us anyway, it just reeks of Forrest Fenn. So, and it's humorous in that exact same regard. It's just some of these jokes, you forget what book you're reading. Thrill of the Chase or Too Far to Walk or Ha Ha Ha.
Yep.
Had the limitations passed before the book came out?
Yes, the book even said that. The book even says, and Ben has my copy, but he says they can't even come after me now if they wanted because the statute of limitations ran out in 1976. I mean, I think,
which I don't even know if that's right or not, but
I don't either. And apparently it's not, because there's still like this John Doe thing, or
I think they like reapproached some kind of law and got clearance on like you can like double jeopardy a suspect if you never found the suspect or something like that. Yeah, it's like a John Doe thing.
Yeah, it's something weird.
And then Caper said, I was told specifically that source Diane was not stating accurate information. Yeah, like there's discrepancies even in those sources. There's issues. So something's up.
I will also agree Diane does not state correct facts, because I've heard Diane talk about facts that are not correct.
Correct. So. And the FBI case was still open until 2016, right? So I mean, there's an argument. I'm sure that had DB Cooper been caught, maybe a lawyer would have argued statute of limitations ran out. This doesn't make who knows? Yeah. Would have gone to some kind of court arraignment, blah blah blah. All that aside, where is the money? The money was in. If it really happened, if he really got away with it, however he did it, the money got washed, gone, laundered out. Maybe he took 50 cents on the dollar. Maybe the person getting it from him didn't really even understand the deal they were making with this Dan Cooper, and they thought they were getting 2-to-1 on their money with this illegal money, but they didn't really quite understand. Maybe the person didn't tell him where it came from. This is 1971. If he's washing the money the night of with a source he set up ahead of time, and this source has no clue about some hijacking that's going on because they don't have MSNBC on every night because it doesn't exist, then, all of a sudden you can make a quick deal and get out on, 1 to 2 on your money, and you're walking out with $100,000 in clean bills. Some part of any is better than no of nothing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The Fenn quote. So there's a very easy way to see how the money could have gotten washed. And now the person who has it finds out that all of a sudden there's a bunch of bulletins on $20 bills for banks and grocery stores and blah, 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 that then they go, shit, I just got fucked. And they can't do anything with that money. And rather than just get caught, they fucking burn it. They probably want to kill this Dan Cooper who fucked them over. And maybe Dan Cooper hooks him up with shit later in life. I don't know. But I'm just saying there's plenty of avenues as to how that money gets washed and never, ever circulates inside the United States. I mean, we have Forrest Fenn admitting to the fact that he goes to Russia in 75, even though we have him there going much sooner than 75. So Who knows? Lots of options, specifically to a guy like a Forrest Fenn. He has options. A part of some is better than no part of any. Thank you, WB. But that's the mentality when you're washing money. A part of some is better than no part of any. Yeah, my $200,000 is hot. I only planned on making 100 anyway. Like, that's why I asked for 2, because I only needed 1. Didn't Rod Attick's former employer find the Ha 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 book before it was published? So, okay, Lucky. So you're kind of, yeah, in a way. That Terrell person, his dad is murdered. They own a bookkeeping company. Rod works for this person who's murdered, and this Terrell, the son of this person, at this book company. And so then, the murder happens. Rod and 2 other people, are arrested for the crime. Blah blah. I think they admit it, or they partly admit it. Rod kind of admitted to something, but claimed he didn't actually murder. It was very convoluted and bullshit. But the point is, the son claims that there was a manuscript of Ha 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 found at their bookstore when all this went down. And it was found by an anonymous detective who brought it into him anonymously, and then corroborated by an anonymous prison source who said that Rod Attick said it. This happens to be a major storyline in Ha 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 itself. That's the funny part. That's literally a major storyline in the book Ha Ha Ha, is this exact accusation and prison rat and all the whole thing. So there's more to it.
Yeah, so where are all you guys going this weekend? What are you guys looking for?
Yeah. Did you know Bigfoot and Nessie live out there in the desert? No, Bigfoot lives in the mountains, man. Get it right.
I'm just looking for the solved of DB Cooper, the solved of Forrest Fenn, and the world's largest trout in the same 24 hours. I mean,
hey, if it's good enough for Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe, it's good enough for me.
Wait, I don't think I mentioned that yet.
Oh, shit. Did we not? I thought oh, fuck. Whoops.
That's all right. No, because that was the one thing that we didn't say. Because I said, look up world record trout, Pyramid Lake, and then you said,
oh, somebody would have found that.
No,
Packer Jack's already alluded to it like 6 times in my streams over the last 2 weeks.
So you could drop it now. Just look up Cary Grant.
Look up Clark Gable.
Clark Gable, Pyramid Lake.
Pyramid Lake.
And don't go down the movie rabbit hole, because I think there's a couple of them.
My daughters don't even know who Clark Gable is. They don't, Forrest? Is that right? You say this every time. Hey, it's 2017. We're talking about new stuff now. Brand new book that you've written. Once upon a while. My daughters don't even know who Clark Gable is. Forrest, we've heard this one.
Yep. 17 times, yeah. No, K-Pro.
No. She's rolling her eyes. She's like, you guys are just giving it all away. Again, Packer Jack has already alluded to it in chat hundreds of times in the last few weeks. It's a Pyramid Lake. That's where we're going.
Knowing that
Pyramid Lake, that's a secret.
Yeah, knowing that Clark Gable fished at Pyramid Lake is like knowing Hemingway fished in Yellowstone. That doesn't solve anything.
Or his more just like knowing that his dad fished on the Madison.
Exactly. Like, great. Good luck. Madison's 200 miles long.
So is the Truckee River.
Yeah, and either way, it's like...
Again, you'd be going tomorrow doing a snowstorm. If you beat us to the punch, you're going to have to say how. I've just been following along this whole time. Okay, what was the solve? Well, we're in a Jack situation. I can't tell you the solve. It's a super secret. Super secret. Can't tell you.
Yeah. I do have a small advantage this time because I'm not near the Rockies. I'm on the West Coast. I'm 4 hours away from this spot. Yeah. I might be the closest one in chat. Davio's probably closer.
Yo, Davio, if Davio went and found it before us, he would totally call us up and share. So I'm not worried about Davio. Right, Davio? You son of a bitch.
And again, it's not like someone's gonna beat us to the treasure. They're just gonna.
No, there's no treasure.
If you beat us there, just let me know what's there, and if there's nothing there, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna cancel my nothing. I actually didn't book anything yet.
You'd save us the mileage.
It'd save us, yeah.
Tank of gas.
But you know what? I would go anyway because I'm still gonna meet up with you guys. We're still gonna do some.
Yeah, we're still
fishing.
going.
Yeah, we're going. I'm gonna make the world's smallest snowman out of whatever snow is on the ground.
There's not. I'll make a bet with you for a round of beers. There is no snow on the ground.
No snow.
No snow except for permanently shaded areas. There will be no snow at our spot.
Okay. I actually might agree with that. Although it's in that little ravine, the little gap, there might be some.
You are kind of right. Fuck.
Anyways, deal.
Deal. As soon as I realize I might be wrong. Two can keep a secret if one of them isn't Ben. We've already discussed all this shit. Again.
Ben.
We've said Pyramid Lake. If you don't realize that Clark Gable fished at Pyramid Lake, you're just behind the curve.
Well, there is that one other nuance of Pyramid Lake that I don't think you dropped. Not the Clark Gable reference, the other.
No, there's not. There's like three others that I haven't dropped of like that fun variety.
The one that most.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because you could say that, and that would almost make it more confusing.
I would like it honestly if we dropped it because
I say might as well.
Reasons we don't drop.
Yeah, I would actually be if we're thinking of even the same thing. I think we are.
Message me.
I still don't think it matters. It really doesn't.
I don't either, but I'm kind of getting a kick out of annoying K-Pro a little bit.
K-Pro's more worried about her gloves that she needs to buy.
Yeah, K-Pro's got to get gloves before she worries about us dropping.
K-Pro, you've been in Yellowstone. Shouldn't you have a pair of gloves? And
she's got gloves. She's just being extra precautious. See, JK has to leave for work anyway, so we can share the spot now that JK's leaving. Oh my God, turn the stream off, please. All right, fine. We won't drop that. K-Pro doesn't want us to drop it. We won't drop it.
That's right, me man. Very large strain. The largest strain of cutthroat trout.
Yes.
But it almost went extinct there, and they had to revive them. It was a weird story. I watched an entire documentary on it, and that's actually how I found that Clark Gable fish there, is because I watched a documentary on the Lahontan cutthroat trout. But it's a beast of a trout. It's not your normal trout setup. I'm not throwing out a rooster tail or power bait or I have like 20-pound tests set up on my lines.
What if Forrest Fenn and Doug Preston used the Haha book as a model for TTOTC treasure hunt and they both only read it? I don't think they would have kept that part a secret then. They'd been like, oh yeah, there was this cool treasure hunt in the 80s, like The Secret.
Yeah. What about the other side of that? What about the other side? What about the other side of that, which is whoever wrote Ha 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 would have come out by now. And especially if they're a convicted felon that just got out of jail, that is desperate for money, any sort of positive recognition, anything. You're telling me that even after all that, we still don't know who actually wrote the book. And now it's rod addicts. I mean, that's just, it's kind of laughable to me. Ha ha ha, laughable, but whatever.
I don't get it.
Me, man, I will surely take a picture. Yeah.
Terrell hated addicts. He killed his father and was suing Terrell with ridiculous, frivolous lawsuits. He published any dirt on addicts that he could find. He hated them. Don't blame him. I agree. Then that's why we're not going any further with that. It's not like we're going to investigate the dude and try to talk to Terrell. No, this is a traumatic thing. It adds context to a lot of others' accusations. Not necessarily saying they're true or false. I'm just saying there's lots of shit in that story that dilutes the water here. It is not crystal clear.
Yep. And it's not supposed to be. And that's where it's not supposed to be clear. So the fact that Diane says rod addicts and then Darren Schaefer, again, I like the guy, says rod addicts, that doesn't make it, okay, there we go. Now everyone move on, carry on. That's the answer. Because if you dig into it, it doesn't make sense. And it shouldn't make sense because it's written by a pseudonym. And if rod addicts actually wrote it and disclosed that to more than 2 people, that he should have capitalized on that for sure.
Yeah. Judging by the outside of his tax business, I'm going to guess he didn't do too well in life. So,
well, he almost served life, so he definitely didn't.
Right. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how you get someone else somehow spending, I don't know how much, but you're making, 20,000 copies allegedly of a book that costs, with the foil printing, I don't know what we came up with, $2.50, $3 a pop, minimum. You're talking $60,000 to $70,000. He did it from prison while serving life for murder.
Yep. And at the time, he was also, most of his time was spent being an in-house, in the jailhouse lawyer. So he was being a lawyer for not only himself, but other
right. Dude was doing that.
That was most of his time. So what I don't agree with, no matter what, whether Forstmann, rod addicts, don't care, this is not the type of book that you write when you're serving almost a life sentence.
And by the way, let's do some logic here. They find the 60,000 page manuscript in their office while he is in jail. He doesn't have the 60,000 page manuscript. So what did he write in jail? Word for word, the exact same thing from memory in jail, word for word?
Yep.
If you dig deeper, it starts to go, oh shit, the story makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
There's something wrong about it. That's for sure.
He didn't have the there's all sorts of weird shit with it. That's what it's so. Ben, the spot you're going to, does it have a concrete slab with a name written in the corner? Well, we'll find out. It certainly has some slabs. We are very curious about those slabs. Interesting you bring that up, Davi.
Agreed, K-Bro.
There is more to the story than on the surface, both with ha 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 and the chase. Right. If there wasn't more to the chase, if I truly believed there was nothing more to the chase, then this would just be a ha 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 investigation. But I don't know how we would have gotten to our solve without one Forrest Fenn. So we'd just be still trying to figure out ha ha ha, thinking it's either a real book or not, really part of the whole thing or not. Fine. That would have been its own thing. But one requires the other, in our opinion. The chase needs ha 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 in some strange way, but ha 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 needs the chase most importantly. Does that make sense?
Sure, good enough.
I think you need the influence of the chase brought to you by Forrest Fenn in order to correctly interpret ha ha ha. That could be the worst case of confirmation bias ever, but that's my take on it.
It's 100% the correct case of confirmation bias, because even the DB Cooper community dismiss this book immediately without even reading the whole book. They just dismiss it for XYZ. And usually it's it's not factually correct to the case. So blue eyes versus brown eyes. He jumped over, pyramid leg versus everywhere else. It's not Victor 23, like all that stuff. They get really upset about because they are locked and loaded on their confirmation bias. So it's a battle of confirmation biases between us and the DB community.
It is, and for whatever reason, it's starting to get a little chippy, and I don't like that. So
that's confirmation bias is a beast.
But we come in peace. Oh, we come in peace. That's a little solve humor for where we are. The lights of Nixon. Grab every banana.
So Meatman must have watched that 60 Minutes with Rod Addicts where he's talking about, frivolous counter lawsuits up to the like $15 million worth of counter frivolous lawsuits.
Yeah,
is what
he cost the son of the murdered father like 20 grand in that day for legal fees of frivolous lawsuit bullshit.
And meanwhile, you're going to tell me you wrote this book about babbling brooks and never spending time in jail because they make you work in jail, and then
Getting lost in the thrill of the chase.
Getting lost in the thrill of the chase, making sure that he found like his love at the end of whatever, and a volcano erupted and buried the evidence, but it didn't really, and they got away with it. That's not who Rod Addix is. Not the one that wrote whatever that story, that first person perspective. It's a completely different perspective. I mean,
and again, Forrest Fenn brings us Skippy, and Skippy is a name that should not get lost by the wayside here. And Skippy is just as likely a suspect as Forrest, in my opinion. Forrest ghostwriting Skippy's adventures through Ha 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 would be right up Forrest's alley, because here's a man that I think deserves a fucking story. One Skippy Fenn. Deserves a book. I want to read about Skippy. Maybe we've been given that with Ha Ha Ha.
I mean, he's the one that didn't hijack a plane, but he stole a plane.
He stole a plane. He stole a plane. Landed where people didn't think he landed.
Yep.
Right? He insinuates his parents think he landed in one spot, but he didn't. He landed somewhere else. We should have buried him standing up.
Yep.
Right? We just said that at the same time. That's fucking funny. Yep. Should have buried him standing up. When I get in my upright descent position.
Had to bribe the authorities from Mexico to get his body back.
Mexico. It's just that, Skippy, there's a lot to Skippy worked at Boeing. His brother was in the Air Force as a decorated fighter pilot in Vietnam, in the CIA. Skippy has just as many connections to being D.B. Cooper as Forrest. One could say Skippy has more.
Hey, Lucky Digger, don't even say peanut butter, because that directly relates to Ha Ha Ha.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. In a distinct way.
DB said that his nickname was PB. It wasn't peanut butter, but he said his nickname was PB.
But he was in the context of sandwiches too around it. It was an obvious nod to PB and J, peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be dope if we I don't know who said it, but like if there was a name carved in on the slab there, the real name of Dan Cooper.
So you think
Skippy was here? What about a Skippy was here? Oh, I'd fucking kill for Skippy was here.
So you think those white things are cement? That's what you're thinking? Not a tree?
No, I think they're big rocks. I think they've been moved and purposely placed there from. I don't know what else they could be. They're very shiny and reflective on Google Maps. I don't know what that means. And they've been there. They were even there very faintly in that image you sent me.
It might just be the top of a ridge, because it looks like a big ridge. I'm just looking at your screenshot right now. Just looks like
we're looking at the top of the ridge, and this white stuff is right underneath it. Even
and it's probably sun bleached.
Bleached. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But it doesn't feel natural, but it could just as easily be natural. It's 50-50, but it's enough to look. Yep. I mean, in the vast expanse of the desert, I dare one to find something that looks more peculiar than that.
And the thing is, this is not what the terrain looks like. Even the greenery around this is not what the terrain looks like in this general vicinity. This is
Packer Jack says Bubba Cooper. That'd be so dope if it was Bubba. No, you know what it would be? It would be Bubba Baker. That would be the pseudonym inscribed on the wall if Fenn was also writing Ha Ha Ha. Baker's the name as well. So Bubba Baker, BB. Didn't his dad say he got an air rifle? Doesn't that shoot BBs? Confirmation bias. That's great. That's confirmation bias. This is fun. What else? How else you guys want to fuck with us? Any other? Okay. If a convicted felon wrote Ha Ha Ha, why would Forrest and Doug want to associate the thrill of the chase hunt publicly with that book and hunt? Well, how do you know that they know it was Rod Addix? I mean, I would hope they did their research and due diligence as well, and maybe that's the case. But we can't just also assume a convicted felon for murder did that. That's the story being told. But again, if this is part of some crazy larger thing, there will be a cover story. It's like clockwork. We uncovered the cover story. We just the name happened to come out as we were happened to come out a week before, or a week. Well, I don't know the time frame of when Darren. For all we know, Darren had it for years and just never bothered to say it. I don't know why that would be the case.
That's not what he said, though. That's absolutely not what he said.
He just came across it, right?
He said he has been looking for it and just came across it, and then he announced.
So we all just came across it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying who got it first, who cares, but we all just came across it. Don't we find that weird that we all just came across that now that we're pumping renewed interest into this? It's weird. And if anything the chase taught us was the weird things should stick in your brain. Ask Alan to read page D4 from the 11082 Santa Fe article, because we can't, because it's not searchable. It just so happens Forrest Fenn news articles were ripped off the internet right after we found them live. I guess that's a coincidence too.
Yeah, we got screenshots.
Thank God we got screenshots. Bavetta has it clipped. So again, if you find it now, you're finding the clipping. It's either Bavetta or I think there's one other now who has it clipped. But so we have it safeguarded. You can't wipe away the internet, but or its history. But
we're gonna get to the spot in Nevada, and it's gonna be blank. Like we're gonna get there's this blank Earth. It's not even it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. This is a fake Google image.
Those coordinates off the planet to make sure we didn't.
Oh my God, that'd be even trippier, bro. I'd almost like that more.
Or it's like his house in Temple, Texas, like perched up on a thing there, like in a vortex of alternate realities.
Fenn was just trying to lead you to the other dimension, man. That's where all his stories make sense, in the other dimension. Someone said something. MS. Are you guys going to go live if you find anything? Yeah, like what Capra said, we're going live no matter what. We find something or we don't find something.
Yeah. There's a small caveat to that, but yeah, I agree with that.
True. Yeah. No. There's one thing we have to work out, but I think that'll be all right.
Yeah.
At least Capra won't have to worry about snakes unless they made little scarves out of a parachute.
There should be no snake over here.
Yeah. Now that it's not going to be 50s every day, I mean, I think the snakes are pretty much gone by now. But there still could be scorpions. You know, we're going to be lifting up rocks and shit. So still beware and wear gloves.
I can't wait, man.
I'm excited. It was I probably was 500 feet from where Skippy died. Where was that, Carrie? Where were you? So Skippy died in Mexico, and that is where DB was wanting to go. Yes, correct.
Well, that's
Mexico City.
Yep. I feel, and again, like I'm not the DB Cooper expert, but when he says, let's go to Mexico, that's just a trajectory. That's go in that direction, go south. And then, there was some refueling stuff, and obviously they had to refuel, but he wasn't on the plane by then. So he was jumping no matter what.
He could have said, go to Cuba.
Yeah, go to Cuba.
Then that would have changed the trajectory.
And he also could have stayed on the plane in Reno and said, refuel, we're getting back up in the air. You're taking me to Mexico. That didn't happen either.
Right.
So he jumped where he jumped. I feel like Mexico might have just been like a target to draw a straight line.
And you got jets flying with the plane. Have you gone into the eyewitness investigation of any sightings of Air Force jets flying over the trajectory they think they went on? I've heard sightings of an airplane, but not Air Force jets. Maybe, but that's where I don't know. I don't have that shit memorized anymore.
Yep. And even
I stopped my TV research back in like 2015. Sorry, what?
No, I was going to say, even the witnesses that say they thought they saw fighter jets or thought they saw a C-130 or thought they saw Northwest 305 flying overhead, like a lot of those didn't pan out. Like even people that said they saw it were wrong.
Right. People love to be part of something, so they'll just say this. Yeah, I mean, I saw a plane fly over my head that night at around 8 o'clock. Fuck yeah, that was DB Cooper's plane. You know, like it just there. Now it's a fact in their head.
Google Phoenix Lights 1998.
Hey, fuck you. Phoenix Lights are real.
I love Phoenix Lights. I watched
Okay.
many documentaries. Many.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say that was like fake and
No.
phony. No, I think that shit
No.
was real as fuck.
Yeah. But it's more of everyone went out to go look for it, and
Ryan
documented.
Bavetta, that's a good question, man. We were trying to figure out what this is, but this is gonna be at the spot we're looking at. And it's not a cell phone antenna, I can tell you that.
It's a long shadow. So Ryan, what I was saying is I can't tell if that's a shadow from a tree or that's just like a raised, couple feet rock point that just goes, 3 feet up, and then there's like a mound.
Fallen weather balloon. That's a great guess.
It's been there forever, though. I mean, at least.
Yeah, you would think it'd be deteriorated and not so
Yeah.
shiny, but that'd be interesting as fuck. Maybe.
No,
but see, remember, we saw it on the. Here's my question though. We saw it on. I swear it's on that image you sent me from '94. So what the fuck is this?
It's something dark and heavy. I mean, it's got to be geological, I guess is the right phrase for
Maybe
that.
it's a great nook.
I would say zoom out, but I don't want you to zoom out. So
Yeah,
zoom
that's
out.
the problem with it. That's the problem with it. And I'm looking at your image, and I swear I see the makings of what I'm seeing.
That's the worst place cell phone tower I've ever seen in my life, by the way. Ryan Bavetta, obviously you don't know where this is, but I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's not a cell phone tower. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no.
And remember, don't feel fooled by the optical. I think this
Yeah.
might be an optical illusion and not quite a shadow, but the
I think it's-
ledge.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks like a 3 to 4 foot kind of drop with an elevated something.
Yep.
But then the
this
white,
goes off.
white stuff's weird. I don't know what that is. I don't know if those are trees or rocks or sand. It looks too white compared to the sand next to it to be sand. Like it almost looks like a birch or something. It's strange for sure. But see, that's why it's going to be fun. It's like it. And people ask, like, why are you doing this? What are you looking for? I don't know. Like, the thrill of the chase. Like, I'm not going to go to Yellowstone again to look for a chest that doesn't exist. And we found this, and serendipitously, there's a spot, and we're going to it in 2 days. And I can't wait. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Fuck yeah. But Vada, we're not saying the exact spot of where it is. So even if you do find it, just message it to me.
Please.
Keep it quiet.
Yes.
I'll tell you if you're right, though.
Yeah, actually, the reason why I don't want to say this exact spot, I did that with the Lamar Valley, my spot. And then the next time I went to my spot, there was like a mason jar with sprayed gold painted rocks in it. But then there was like all sort of spray painted gold shit like all over the place. Like I'm talking
that's
in the middle of
fucked
the Lamar
up.
Valley. Like people were just spray painting stuff and like they thought it was cute, but to me that's not cute at all. So it was disheartening. Not because I didn't find anything, just that.
Nomadic Madman says, sorry about that mason jar, Alan.
Hey, I might have been you. I mean, I don't really know. And I didn't mind the mason jar. It was the spray painted landscape next to it that I did not appreciate. In my place of solace in the Lamar Valley.
Yeah, your solve got glitter bombed.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, it wasn't a secret. I mean, I said exactly where my spot was. It's Ferry's Falls, Lamar Valley, Amethyst Creek. Very easy. But I just hated to see the spray paint and like the garbage and.
Yeah, like it's a prank that's like, come on.
Leave the jar, but yeah.
Mason jar's all right because someone will grab that.
But it's also like that glass shatters. No one's going to clean that up for sure.
That's what sucks. That's why it's like, don't do that. Don't do shit like that.
Yeah. I'll just spray paint a rock and just say like, hey, I was here before you.
I feel like looking at like a weather radar over the general area. But we'll see if I really do that or not. Type in that. Okay, I don't want that there. Type in that. Okay, now give me 24-hour future. I gotta do premium online for that. Oh, you rat bastards. Oh, I'm not doing that then. There's no point to it. It's just a little squall. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be searching on Thursday, but we'll be fine Friday when we're there.
We're gonna be fine. I mean, it's gonna be cold. Hopefully, it's not windy, like you said. We're gonna be fine. It's not. It'll be fine.
Yeah, don't be a dumbass.
Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
that's a relation to us, but I agree. Just as long as we're not dumbasses, we're fine.
In general, like that's.
But I think he meant just don't be a dumbass in terms of like leaving glass for you to get pranked on.
Yeah. Well, don't be a dumbass. Don't be inconsiderate. Don't be evil. You know, show appreciation for the places you're walking up to.
What?
Getting the coolest birthday gift was probably the worst idea ever.
What was it? Slime.
The Oculus 2, the VR headset.
Oh, nice.
They're digging it. I put it on. I did like a Star Wars lightsaber training game or whatever. It was pretty dope. It was pretty good. But now they all want to play it, so.
Yeah. I think the funny things are like to YouTube the people that completely have panic attacks. Like where there's like a zombie coming after them and they like literally collapse to the ground, like crying and screaming.
You want to complain about people on YouTube doing shit for clicks and whatever and likes? Go to those people because that's what they're doing. That overreact. and look at this trend. If you have kids, all their little videos, the thumbnails for all their little videos, there's always some asshole with their mouth open, something going on behind them, and some big bright letters across the fucking top. Every friggin' video, it's the same shit. And if there's multiple people in the video, every time, and they just
it's the algorithm.
Burn and churn.
Got to work the algorithm, man. That's funny.
It's awful to see. I look at it, and then I click on some of these videos, and they're videos of nothing.
Well, the problem is that our kids are clicking on them, and that's what's driving them millions and millions and millions of views and clicks.
Right.
We're just ripping our money out of our pockets because our kids are clicking on them.
Yep. It's crazy sauce. How many million?
See, if you had this as your thumbnail, not one person would click.
I wanted to make this my thumbnail too.
Be like, no, not interested.
I gotta say though, it really could be the beginning of the end with kids' entertainment. These kids don't even want to like watch movies anymore. They'd much rather watch the 25-minute video of nothing where some dude wearing the V from Vendetta mask is running around the background while 4 27-year-olds show off their Tesla in front of their mansion and run around. I mean, more power to them, but that's all it is. Our like children are. I sound like the parents, like we were in the 90s. Video games are ruining our children's future. We need to put an end to Mortal Kombat. Like, we need to put an end to this YouTube shit. I'll lead the fucking charge. I hate it. All right, have we said enough? We've basically given away our spot.
Probably.
More power to you if you can get there before us in the middle of a snowstorm and know exactly where to go and what precisely to do next with the information we have acquired. But if you are lucky enough, we will know who helped you. Won't we, Alan?
That's true.
I think it's better to get on record than anything. Because this is a matter of fun and exchange of information. We're not finding something and then holding it back and then not saying a word. That's not happening. Especially if it's Force Fenn.
And I also think that even if we find nothing and then people like tell us you're solved, we talk to them, they're like, you guys are idiots. So
I'm expecting that too. Like I've literally pondered, like, okay, you find a jar. Inside the jar, you find the autobiography just as it's described. And you open, and you don't even open the jar until you're live. People will still go, this is bullshit, this is stage, this is fake, blah blah blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. But that's the world we live in.
Yeah. And it exacerbated if you find nothing, because then it's just like, you guys are idiots. I can't believe you even went out there. Can't believe you looked. Can't believe you were excited. Can't believe I listened to anything you've ever said ever in your life.
Right. Like we're somehow evil people. Like, but God forbid, you know, I like to make stands where people don't make stands. My stand, okay, we're wrong. We posted it. Yep. I would really invite anyone to go and look at other people's emphatic solve videos and see if they've ever once said that they were wrong.
Yeah. But that's where my question was back to anyone that is, you know, rearing up to talk trash is what did you go look for this weekend? What did you do that was different from your normal day-to-day that you did this weekend? What made you happy this weekend? Like, I'll ask those questions back to them. So whether you find anything, I mean, obviously I want to find something, and obviously we're going for a reason, but you know, it's a thrill of the chase. And I will continue to say that for sure. Like, just keep chasing something. And that Dark even said that earlier. Like, okay, say DB Cooper Fenn doesn't work out. What's the next? I forget his phrasing, but I don't think that's it. I don't think it's what's next. It's just something's next. It's going to be continuing to chase, and hopefully it's not chasing ghosts and shadows and, you know, like Jack's history and, you know, LLCs and I don't know, but it's my mini soapbox. Like, I'm excited, so I don't really care what anyone else says. And I'm excited for multiple reasons. One, meeting up with you guys. Two, looking for something that I think is awesome. And then there's awesome fishing there. Like, I can't lose. I cannot lose this weekend.
Phil Press, you guys can't imagine trash talkers into existence just saying, oh, please. They're already here. I mean, maybe not today. And again, it's not even like trash talking gets to us. There's a healthy dose of trash talking skepticism that I think, in my opinion, is always invited. I don't mind a little ribbon. You know what I mean? A little ribbing is fine on my end. It's more just typical trope. You didn't find anything. So are you ready to give up now? This is done. You're done, right? You're done. You didn't find anything. You're done. You're wrong. Like, it's that kind of thinking that's just like, that's probably what prevents other people from admitting their mistakes. Like, I don't know. There's a level of shit talk that people stick to that's always cool with me. But it's the few that go above that, like, they get a little vicious with it.
Agreed on that.
There are literally 58 people here, and we all think you're nuts, but love it. That's fine.
That's the only thing I would expect, to be very honest. That's the only thing I would expect. I actually think it's more surprising when someone says, I hope you find something. It's like, what? You're insane to even think that we're going to find something. But I mean,
I already found a pair of rusted, well, I call them scissors because it's just easier to call them scissors, but like the hemo steps.
Yeah.
They're rusty as shit, man. I mean, I could probably yank this thing open, but I'd probably break it before I actually did. I don't know what this was. This is my little memento keepsake from 9 Mile Hole. It lived and breathed on 9 Mile Hole, 250 feet away from the river. And the whole experience is fun, yeah, because we're going to talk about how silly we were. Remember when we were frolicking to the spot earlier today and there was nothing there, and then we smoked a joint and felt better about it? Gosh, that was only like 6 hours ago. That feels like yesterday. I mean, we're going to have that while we're drinking a beer, shooting the shit. Like, all right, what's the craziest thing you did, you know, for looking for Fenn? Like, you know what I mean? It's fun shit.
Like I'm driving.
Forced.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm driving
No,
4.5 hours from San Jose to there, so that's easy for me. But the whole time I'm just gonna be listening to Fenn interviews, and not because I'm listening for Fenn ha 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 interviews. That's my plan. Like maybe I'll put some music on, listen to some Fenn quotes. I don't know. Like that's what I always do, boots on the ground. And then I try to enjoy myself once I get there, especially if I feel like things are turning south, where I'm like, this is not the place, you know. Then I change it to something else. Then it's like, all right, are there fish here? Is there anything else to look for? Is there cool stuff just in general?
Right.
Like what are the
There's going to
rocks?
be something cool and different there, no matter what. We're on an adventure. That's the fun. Ben, discover everything. Finding something from long ago is cool. I agree. Any day hiking the hills is better than one day sitting at work listening to this.
Totally true. That's awesome.
Ben, I feel like you're going to be a bad influence on Alan Kay. You know, we'll see. I think many a soul who have met me in this chase would at least attest to one thing.
I think I'm almost a decade older than you, so if anything, you're
only a few years older. I'm 37.
I'm 41. All right, close enough.
Yeah, you're a few years old. We're close. We're close enough.
We're close.
But I'm me. I'm always me. This isn't like fake, but like it's different.
I think Ben and I are in a mutual agreement on what everything is happening this weekend. I mean, I feel like on every level, so I'm okay with it.
Yep.
And Caper's wearing mittens or gloves.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, Caper.
Son and I drove 26 hours straight to a mountain looking for that fucking treasure. Nothing sounds crazy to me. And that's what, when I get like visually my mood changes and you guys, some of you think I'm angry or something. It's not anger. It's just more befuddlement. I'm flabbergasted at, we were all a little bit crazy at one point looking for this Forrest Fenn treasure. Whether the longer you were in it, the more chances that you had of being crazy at some point. And I guarantee you were at one point, whoever you are at home. So like for anybody involved in the thrill of the chase to think that this subsection of it, just even investigating it is crazy, is ludicrous to me. That's what gets me. Tell me I'm crazy and that's fine, but be like no crazier than what I did in the thrill of the chase. Yeah, exactly.
This is less crazy and more planned than anything I did in Thrill of the Chase. When I first thought I found whatever on Google Earth, the Forrest Fenn treasure, I literally called my friend and said, this is going to sound crazy, but we're flying from San Francisco to Wyoming tomorrow. And he's like, I'm in. We booked a flight immediately. We rented a one-way trip. That's how confident I was. So anyway, long story short, that is way more crazy. Like flying from where I am right now in California to Yellowstone, not having any idea what I'm doing, on a hunch, on a one-way ticket, no food, no water. Like that is way weirder and crazier. And that's the Forrest Fenn chase. This one is actually more planned, I feel like. Not saying it's any more right or anything, right, but at least it's more planned. Still the thrill of the chase, though.
And again, remember, the idea here of ha 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 is if you're going to do a big scam of a treasure hunt for a treasure that doesn't exist, and you go through the time and effort to print all those thousands of copies and foil stamp them and spend the extra money to do so, and then not market it, and then not actually distribute it, and then you're released from jail and have no source of income, and you still don't market it, you still don't sell it, you have nothing to ever do with it ever again.
Fishy.
Or is this a treasure hunting book that was written in 1983 and it just never has been solved?
Yeah. And the counterpoint to that would be we have two women who says rod addicts. That's basically what it comes down to. That's it. Diane and Judy, and that's it.
And I wouldn't even say Judy's. I think.
Well, okay.
Judy has already given herself off the record outs on even being associated with that,
which is also interesting,
right? So even I wouldn't even say Judy's on board with rod addicts completely.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So the fact
I don't. Yeah.
That when people say rod addicts, cut and dry, done deal. Nope. Not even close. Now, if someone can prove otherwise and prove it, totally fine. I'm open to that information, please. But don't just say because someone said it, that makes it true. I am not a bias.
And again, the person who says it, all context aside, says they have something from an anonymous detective and then an anonymous prison source.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't cut the mustard with anybody in our chat. I know that for a fact.
Two anonymous sources are one, unreliable and not credible. So don't care who they were unless you could put their names and their titles on the line.
Never once happened.
Nope.
Alan, the person claiming copyright will not confirm if there is a $200,000 reward at the end. So the book is a contract, and they would/should say it. So that is big, in my opinion.
Who said that? And I think I followed that, but let me jump in to read that myself.
And again, we don't think it was a. We think there's a certificate in a briefcase.
Let me jump in. Okay, so Caper is talking about Diane, who's the proposed fiance of the author, which is fair. That all might be true. She's saying that the treasure hunt is null and void. She also said that the clues weren't established because she didn't know what the clues were. The interesting thing about all that,
after it was written.
Yeah, she did not meet the author until the book was written. Not only written, fully published, edited, all that stuff with Judy Van Cleve and the Journal of Commerce and Signum Books and all that. The person that Caper was referring to didn't even meet the author until after all that stuff happened. So for that woman to say there is no treasure hunt and the treasure hunt's null and void, she has zero credibility because she didn't even know about the book until after it was written.
Here's a scenario. Rod Addix is released from prison in this area he runs across a bookstore that has this ha 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 book in it. He buys it. He shows it to a woman he meets named Diane and says, "Hey, I wrote this." Because he doesn't want to tell her he's a convicted felon for murder. That's not going to be the backstory he tells her. So he goes, "Yeah, no, I'm a writer. I wrote this." I have no proof of that. I'm just saying it's just as likely. And Diane has nothing to do with the book.
Yep. Okay, Caper, I hear you. What I'm saying is what you're saying. So
right. So Diane saying there's no treasure hunt means diddly squat. That's the same as, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way by any stretch of the imagination. Yep. So I want that context out here before I say it. But that means as much as saying, like Eric Ulis says, there's no treasure hunt. Haha. Okay.
Yep.
That's like, your opinion, man.
Yep.
That would be what I say to Diane.
That's like Peggy saying, I don't think there's any hints in Thrill of the Chase. That's like Peggy saying that.
Right.
Where
what we're left with is an enigmatic Judy Van Cleve who is talking but not saying anything to people out of nowhere at 80 years old, and she hasn't really been on people's radar for quite some time and isn't saying anything. A whole lot of nothing, except for quote. Can we quote that? We can quote that. Diane doesn't know what she's talking about. So. How would you know that it wasn't found a long time ago? We don't, Lucky. That's very true.
Yeah,
we don't.
And how we know once we get to our spot, even if our spot was right, 50,
right.
40
I would
years
hope to God there's whoever did find it left like a better luck next time or something, like anything, like a poker chip that says better luck next time in like, cursive or something like that. Fine. Yeah. But we just don't know. We just don't know. I would think somebody would say something, but maybe
if we find anything in a container of any sort, I would be interested.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if there's a certificate buried in the ground, gone. Anything like that, it's 40 years later. It's toast. It's got to be concealed.
A sealed jar buried a foot deep,
yep.
Or a briefcase with a certificate in it, yep. Tucked away in a nook. Same with the jar. It could be tucked away in a nook.
Yeah, if we dig out a 40-year-old briefcase with nothing in it, we win. We win.
Yeah. Oh my God, if there's a briefcase, that's enough. That's enough. I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's empty. someone just buried a briefcase that you're solved for DB Cooper. Ha ha ha. Like it's like one of those, right? Although, frankly, there will be people who say that. There will be. Like if it's a briefcase, it's empty because someone took the certificate and was like, oh, this really was a bullshit con. It's just a fake certificate. Oh, that sucks. Well, I'll keep it as a souvenir and show my grandson one day and not tell anybody. And and they leave the briefcase because they don't want to touch it because it's got a fucking scorpion in it or something. Then you know what I mean, and like just puts it back and covers it up. I don't know. I don't know.
You're talking about scorpions too much. I think you're scaring K-Pro. We're not going to find a scorpion.
I'm doing it on purpose. It's winter time. Honestly, let me do the big rock lifting. That's all.
We're not going to find a scorpion. Well, maybe
75 times camping in the desert. I've seen a scorpion twice.
They're in Santa Cruz. I mean, anyways, yeah. I used to chuck scorpions around the Santa Cruz Mountains because they look like lizards to me, and I would just dig through the dirt and then like.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, they're all over, and horny toads and scorpions and rattlesnakes are all over the Santa Cruz Mountains, everywhere.
That's why I haven't gone hiking in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's too much nature. I love nature. I am one with nature, but I don't like nature that can kill me.
Yep. But we're not going to find scorpions, K-Pro. But
yeah, we're not going to find scorpions. It's fine. And the snakes are gone. We'll see a lot of snake holes for shizzle, but don't sprain your ankle in a snake hole. That's honestly, that's the only risk we really have walking along the desert floor is spraining your ankle in a fucking snake hole.
Snankle? Can you say snankle?
A snankle.
Don't
is Jens filming this? No, Jens is busy right now. I think he's all over the place around the world, trying to pay bills. So no, this is just us going.
Yeah, this is not. This is not
if we say maybe Ashley and K-Pro will help film.
Yeah, I was gonna elaborate on what Ben just said. This is not part of any documentary. This is not part of any weird conspiracy search community. Like,
there's no profit to be made here.
No, there's nothing happening. I mean,
we're just getting back to basics, sharing a boots on the ground adventure, one that is rare to find at these parts, and it takes a little crazy sauce to make it all work. With Forrest Fenn being involved with sure, but at least it's something. It's fun,
and it's also even crazier to put your boot on the ground. Like anyone can go research stuff, like that happens all the time. But investing the time and then the money, which is hard for anyone, out there, boots on the ground, just keep that in mind, folks that are watching, because I don't know, it's important to me that I am taking time away from family. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Right. It's not. It's hard to do. It's hard to do what you're doing. It's hard to do what we're doing. Hard to do what K-Pro's doing to meet up with us. It's hard to do, but you gotta fucking try. Otherwise,
you find anything. You never find anything.
Right. Are you thinking that was the spot where DB landed? Let me put it this way, Alan. You can correct me. I think this is the spot that is described in the book in Ha 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 by DB Cooper. And the point of that is describing a spot where the briefcase with the certificate is actually buried. This may or may not actually be the spot where he landed, but it's certainly the goal of Ha Ha Ha. That's what we think.
I would agree with that. I mean, regardless of our exact location, this book describes this area for sure. It's not like we made any of this up. This was in the book. This is the landing spot. But our spot specifically is a little harder to,
that's where, again, we haven't said everything. That's why we're okay. We're fine, K-Bro. This is just super fun. I really just want to check this out because it caught my eye.
Yeah, anyone can go search Pyramid Lake. Anyone can go search any of this area. Like, good luck finding a spot you think fits. Like, that's awesome. But this is where the book says this is the area. So it's not make-believe. We didn't come up with like a try the wheel to find the spot. This is literally where he says he jumped in the book. So
Davi says, use the airfield to land. The mail used to get transferred there. It's not on any map now. I'd check it out if we have time.
Yep. I'll be right back if that's okay.
Yeah, I'd look for like some blaze-ish looking thing on the perimeter of the airfield. I'd try that. I found several scorpions in my house in Vegas. Gee, that's another shitty thing about Vegas. Yeah. No bueno. Did an image capture screenshot of Ben's Google, or did a Google? Lisa, if you got it, just send it to me. Don't just blast it. Blaze-ish looking thing. Right? What if the blaze is broken? Ah! Hold on a sec. I already texted Chloe, yeah. She look at her phone? Yeah. Tell her to look at her phone. Kids want Chipotle. I will send K-Pro a link if that's okay. Sure. No map result. I searched cell towers near Reno. Gigafactory came up. Oh, not a zip. No map result. Okay, good. What would be a standout feature while guiding the shoot, if possible, Ben? The mountains to your right. Get the fuck away from those. Even on a non-steerable shoot, you can get away up to like 5 miles away from those. Mario asked a fun question, Alan.
Well, while guiding the shoot. So you're saying after you jumped out of the plane, what standout features would D.B. Cooper have used? Twofold in the book. One was the dark expanse of Pyramid Lake. So he used that to figure out when he would jump. But the second one, which I don't know if we've mentioned, but if anyone is even looking on Google Earth, it's the lights of Nixon. So Nixon is where his target area was, but it was coming over the vast expanse, the dark expanse of Pyramid Lake.
Just to his left.
Yeah, then looking for the lights of Nixon, and then jumping. And I won't go into more detail from there because I don't think you need it. But that's literally his two landmarks: Pyramid Lake, dark expanse, and then the contrast for the lights of Nixon. And that's where he realized where he needed to bail out and land and all that stuff.
Yeah, you probably take your last breath and go, all right, I'm doing this right after Pyramid Lake is no longer beneath you.
Pretty fair. And again, Ben's not making this up. Like, this is kind of in the book, what he's alluding to. It's not like we're making this up. That's the difference between Forrest Fenn's TTOC, which is like people in New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, like they're all over the place. They're looking for creeks in every single location on the planet. Ha 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 was written very differently, with a specific jump zone, with a specific location, specific cities, and all that stuff. And then the clues obviously factor in. It's just a different book as far as how you find your search spot.
Yep. So the money saturation experiment in the aquarium was performed to understand the reaction of a bill stack to water infiltration. The results demonstrated that the bills would sink after a short period of time and that the bills would fan out into the water. The individual surfaces of virtually all the bills were directly exposed to river water, which would allow diatom infiltration. Sorry, somebody put a link in chat, and I'm just checking it on the diatoms. I think it more stands out, says that basically, like, this doesn't make sense. It's just funny when, you know, again, like, the book covers this, whether you believe it or not, fine, but like, it just so happens.
That's what I was going to say. And not only did the book cover this, the book covered it, you know, again, copywritten 78, published in 83. So let's say in 83, they published the fact that one, the money was found on Tina Bar, but then two, they had already published exactly how they got it there. And not just that it was hidden after the fact. He talked about weathering the bills like in a creek that ran through his yard, his estate. And then like taking off He clamped it, put it underwater, and had it like under the rocks for like a couple weeks. And then he took off the bills that were clamped, and that's why there was $5,960 because he had to take off the bills that were damaged by the clamps. That is crazy to me at that level of information in 1983, because just recently, like in the past 5 years, is when the FBI found out about the diatoms. Like that's recent research, where they said that it was obviously hidden in a separate season. Seemed like it was buried after the fact.
Yep.
40 years ago, talked about pretty much that exact same thing.
Just so happened.
But that's where when Darren says something like, it's mildly entertaining. I'm like, come on, as a DB Cooper enthusiast, you should find a little more entertainment than just mild entertainment, because.
But if you do think, I mean, it was mildly entertaining before he knew it was Rod Addicts. So I was going to say, if you knew it's Rod Addicts, maybe you're not so entertained anymore, right?
And also, if you discredit it immediately after page 6, Blue Eyes, he said DB Cooper on the plane ticket. You can just dismiss it immediately. Like, this book is garbage. Not going to read the rest.
But again, I would suggest if your suspect has any CIA affiliation, possibly working on 727s or with 727s in the CIA, possibly over Laos, if you're part of the CIA brass, I would assume if you're going to pull off a big score and you're going to disguise your look, you cover your blue eyes. I would go as far as to say contact lenses. They were available then. If you're in the CIA, you can get brown contact lenses to cover your eyes. That's a thing. I mean, he wore sunglasses. How many times do we have? I have a few witness reports that say he always wore the sunglasses, never took them off. How do you know he had brown eyes then? Nessie 8, DB Cooper, and Pyramid Lake. Oh, God, what? Yeah, we're fishing Saturday morning at sunrise.
I am. We'll see if you guys wake up.
We'll see if I wake up. It depends if we just decide to go right to it on Friday. It just depends on the conditions.
Yep.
I'm going to try to leave as early as possible, even if we can get out of here at like 5 a.m. Better. Good.
Yeah, I'll probably be there at like noon or 1. We can't even check into the place until 4 p.m.
Right? We'll probably be checking into the place after a little reconnaissance, boots on the ground, at the very least.
My objective is to drive straight from here after I drop off my girls at school, straight to Pyramid Lake to go fishing.
Okay.
Until you guys get there, and then I'll meet whoever you guys want.
Okay.
That's me.
Well, that's what we're going to do then. Yeah, okay, probably going to have to leave early. We want to get there. I want to get there no later than like 2 o'clock. If I could get there by fucking noon, I would love it. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh.
Forrest Fenn story has some connection to DB Cooper, it seems, unless this is all a huge diversion to something even bigger. Hoof, why do you think we're doing this, man? It's at least worth the investigation. There is something going on. I know people said Shiloh was just joking. I understand the concept there. The context was to put the jokes to bed so that everybody can kind of move on in peace from this thrill of the chase by Forrest Fenn. And in that, he created a new controversy. He did. He had a chance to squash it, and he didn't. He's had a chance to correct it. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't even know. I don't know. But last time I know that K-Pro said something that Shiloh disagreed with, he popped into chat right away and put that puppy to bed. And people gave K-Pro a lot of shit for that. And she took it. She's like, okay, I'm wrong. Shiloh came in and corrected it. My bad. We confirmed it's Shiloh. She looked like an asshole for that. So why isn't he doing that now? She's done multiple. She did a show the day after she saw him. I'm sure she told him she was going to be doing that. I'm sure he was going to be paying attention just to see if everything was accurate. He didn't correct the story on DB Cooper. Why?
I'm 100% sure he knows about the DB Cooper conspiracies. I'll just call it that. 100%. Got to know.
Why would Fenn send Stephanie's book to K-Pro? I mean, there's context for that too.
That's one of the weirdest contexts ever, because
We know that. Like, without getting into it, like, there's context there. Why is Fenn sending that?
And it
He's
wasn't.
just joking around. He's just joking around.
He didn't that, but his message that complimented that email was not, "Hey, check out this ridiculous book about me." That's not what that's not how he sent that to K-Pro.
Right.
He sent her a book and said, "Look at the details." It's almost the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the details, I think was the quote.
Yeah, I don't know the quote, but it's something like that.
K-Pro's told me. It was like, pay attention to the details.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That's different than saying, "Look at this silly book that, another searcher wrote about me. Isn't that funny?" Nope, that's not what he said. He said, "Here's a book."
You can't, and again, Davio, you don't know that. He didn't have to let K-Pro or Cynthia or Shannon in, first of all. He didn't have to answer any of their questions. And then he didn't have to add on this joke at the end that we're calling it if we don't believe it. I would say he does care.
He should care. This is one of his best friends' grandfather's legacy. And I appreciate that too. And I that's one thing I will stand firm on my ground, where, if anything, I am an advocate for Forrest Fenn and his legacy. That is one thing, no matter who I'm talking to, I will testify to that.
Yeah.
Because what he did for me. So I understand that that's different. Different people had different interactions with him. But for me, I have nothing but respect because of how he helped me. So,
agreed.
Without him even knowing that he helped me.
There is no reason for Shiloh to know a connection between Forrest and DB. Kahlo Kid, again, how do you know that? Shiloh knows Fenn better than any of us, right? Let's pretend Fenn is part of this, or he did do ha ha ha. There's no reason for Shiloh to know a connection. Why wouldn't Forrest just tell Shiloh at the very end? Are you kidding? If Shiloh didn't know, he'd have been like, I have no idea. That was the context of that discussion they were having. On things he had no idea about, he said no idea. He happened to know a lot. And on DB Cooper, he said, well, that's an interesting story. Notice how I didn't answer that? I don't know anything about it. Notice how I didn't answer that? So it kind of would seem to think that he does know some kind of connection between Forrest and DB, actually. Shiloh and Forrest had a different relationship than your normal grandson and grandpa. Shiloh was taking Forrest to searcher events. Shiloh was his escort. They had plenty of time together on the road, plenty of time together in helicopters, like plenty of time to get to know one another. The whole concept of the rest of the family not knowing shit, but then Shiloh knowing something, at least at the very end, absolutely. These are the same people who were doing rumors of, Shiloh must have been in the lawyer's office with Jack, and like Shiloh knows something. He doesn't seem the type in a context of, my mom is over this shit. She doesn't want any more crap coming to the family. And then he's asked about DB Cooper. What you would expect to hear is, no, he's not DB Cooper. He has nothing to do with DB fucking Cooper.
I expected, no, stop the shit. Like, stop this. Stop.
That's what he would say.
That's the expected response from any normal person in that situation. He'll be like, no, nope, and no. Next question.
Kahlo Kid now says Forrest didn't know anything about the chase. Okay. Davio, I know you can around, but it just brings up a good topic of, like, you're not the only one saying it. So my answer isn't directly at you, Davio. Don't think that. But anywho, that kind of stuff riles me up a little bit, but it's just because there's logic here going on with Shiloh that I feel like people are just rejecting because they don't want it to be true. That's what it feels like.
Yep. And actually just thinking for the last 30 seconds about what Dark said again, is just like, if you don't find anything, like, where do we go now? Let's pretend we're not going searching next week. Let's pretend we have no plans to go searching next week.
Right.
I think the same research would be done. The research we've been doing is not about our spot. It's like
right.
stuff.
That's what like people like Candy, like maybe I'll share with you what I'm doing over here. Like our spot is not our research now. Like this stuff led us to the next set of stuff that we found that just specifically has stuff to do with Forrest Fenn. It's kind of very strange.
Yeah.
So there is a very, 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 very strange backstory to Forrest Fenn, and we don't know what it is, but he put it out there to find out what it is.
Yep. And I guess that's the best answer, which is until we find out what that is, there is no end in sight. I mean, you could quit.
All things are on the table until we find out what the secret story is. Once the secret story comes out and it's found, then it's like, okay, well, now okay, fine. And it's not like he didn't challenge us to find the secret story. He said, I put a secret story in that treasure chest. I also put them in the jars. Like, it's not who you are, it's who they think you are. Blah, blah, blah. I wish I could have lived to do the things that I was attested to. Like, he's challenged people to find this fucking story. One way to find it was the treasure chest. That was one way to find his story. The person who found his treasure chest isn't talking.
We still don't know, where the treasure chest was found or what was in the treasure chest. So, again, it's like even that people say it's over. What are you looking for? First off, that's not even over. We don't even know where the solve was. We have an idea. We don't even know what was in the chest. We definitely don't know what was in the jar. But then, yes, now we're on something else. So neither have been solved. Like there's no closure in my mind yet in any way, shape, or form.
Lucky. You can't compare a family intervention comment about FF to was FF DB Cooper. One comment is derogatory, the other one is kind of silly. I would agree with you in theory, Lucky, but again, what I've been told is I'm being disparaging to the family by even equating the two because one's a mastermind criminal hijacker, sky pirate, and the other is warm-hearted Forrest Fenn. And so I've been told we can't even do that. But so which is it? Is it just kind of silly or am I disparaging the family? And then also, the context here, Shiloh was trying to stop the drama coming to his family. So the context for the family intervention was, again, about the family. He wanted to correct the record about what the family did and where it stood. This context of the conversation happening much later with K-Pro, Cynthia, and Shannon is, okay, no more fucking shit coming to my family. The thrill of the chase poem was solved. And the chest has been found. No more shit coming to my family, please. Okay, but what about DB Cooper? Well. He wants more shit coming to his family? Because that's what he does by doing what he did.
And that's not even a hypothesis that's happening. Like, that's exactly what happened. It's not like we think more shit will come. Because he did that, like...
Right. He was talking to K-Pro. The person he knows does weekly Monday shows for years now.
Yeah. And now Cynthia's convinced all of a sudden.
And now Cynthia is in. So it's like,
yeah, it's a lot. I will say, Lucky Digger, just because I'm thinking about it, you're one of the most consistent, well-written, grammatically correct, argumentative people I've seen.
I like Lucky Digger. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I sometimes they ask questions I can't answer. But I mean,
their questions seem to be full of knowledge and imagination sometimes too.
I appreciate their consistency, though.
Why did Forrest say no one would buy his book? Well, I know one book that I think he might have wrote that I know nobody bought. Anywho, I think we said enough. We got any last comments to make? It's 3:30 my time on a Wednesday, so it's like almost dinner time on the East Coast now. I think that's it. Let's keep an eye on the weather. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. Doesn't take a turn for the worse. Most of the time in the desert, it takes a turn for the better. Ends up staying dry. So hopefully that's what's going on. We'll see.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's that. I don't think we have any last second crazy questions. Any last second boots on the ground questions before we end this? One thing an old man learns is it's best to let people think what they want. That's a great point, Maverick. Thank you. And thank you, guys. How far are you walking? Not far.
Less than a couple miles. Is that what Fenn said? Something like that.
I was just going to leave it at not far, ... Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Asterix, Beaks, appreciate everybody. Maverick, thank you, guys. Paul, Davi B. Mario, K-Pro, thank you for chit-chatting. Lucky, as always. 5 leads. You were great today. Huff was cool. Everybody was super dope today. Chat room was great. So awesome stuff, guys. And then hopefully we go live. There's enough internet where we're at that we can at least do a little bit and go live. So next time you see us, we'll be live from Nixon, Nevada. All right. Peace out, guys.
Take care.